I'm Max Fink with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update brought to you by Chad and Sandy Real Estate. Charlie Woods, the son of golf legend Tiger Woods, has announced his commitment to play collegiate golf at Florida State, where he'll enroll in the fall of 2027. Woods will join forces with the top junior golfer in the world and Jacksonville Beach native Miles Russell, who is also committed to Florida State. It's 66 degrees at 2 o'clock time and temp, brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Now, Lauren Brooks, Taylor Dahl, and Tom McManus. This is
Helmets and Heels.
Helmets and Heels on 1010XL.
Well, what have we here live at Peterbrook Chocolates here in Ponte Vedra Beach, and it smells like chocolate in here.
It smells very good in here.
Smells
a little
delicious.
dangerous.
Did you mean to rhyme? It came right off.
I
Looky
didn't mean
here,
to rhyme.
red chocolate
Tear.
You're right. I didn't
Nice
even think
job.
about that.
You poet, you don't even know it.
Right.
Beautiful.
Valentine's Day poem.
Oh my gosh, the chalk. This is my kryptonite.
Yes.
Chocolate is my kryptonite. And I'm kind of funny with my chocolate. Like I like dark, like we'll freeze
I love
dark
dark
chocolate
chocolate.
almonds, but I can't stand any nuts in my brownies or my fudge. I just
Really?
want the brownie and I just want the fudge. Keep nuts
But
out
chocolate
of it.
covered nuts
But
you like.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's kind of weird.
That
But
is
man, the
interesting.
chocolate
Maybe it's a
is-
texture thing for you.
I don't know what it is, but the common denominator is chocolate.
Chocolate.
right.
Chocolate is the great
Yay.
part.
I love
And everybody who stops in while we're on air gets a free chocolate-covered strawberry. So
How about that?
certainly
Get
pop
yourself
in.
a little treat.
Yeah, get a treat, and then obviously get a treat for your
you.
loved one as
Yes.
well. Valentine's Day is Saturday. If that's breaking news to you, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, surprise.
Yeah.
But
But there's
yeah.
still plenty of gift baskets
Oh,
here. They do
absolutely.
it great here, and it's I always tell people this is my recommendation for Valentine's Day because there's a lot of options, number one, but all sizes too, and that's the thing. They have massive baskets if you want to go all out. They have smaller, just kind of cute heart-shaped little chocolates inside there. They have a ton of truffles now, and this year they actually had some new Valentine's Day heart truffles that are also super cute, and I don't know if you care much about cute as you do taste good, but they also taste delicious. They have a white chocolate hazelnut, a milk chocolate, a dark chocolate strawberry, an orange essence warm vanilla, red heart.
They have it
sounds
all.
delicious.
Okay.
If the person in your life loves chocolate, Peterbrook is the place
So
to be.
help the fellas out there, ladies. What do you ladies like for Valentine's Day? Maybe earlier when you were younger, now as you're, with your, married and you just rock and roll.
Tom was like, how
do I
am
word
I going
this?
to transition
I want to
this
figure this
to
out
Taylor.
from
somehow.
Lauren to Taylor?
Single life
No,
Taylor.
well, whatever. At 35 compared to 21 or
Sure.
when you were younger. What,
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So one thing about me, I've never been a flowers girl. I give me chocolate. That is an easy one for me. And I always
Okay.
talk about how much I love the chocolate covered popcorn here. But in general, chocolate, I would rather have something that I can enjoy and eat,
Okay.
whatever that may be. I'm not a big jewelry person either, so that doesn't do much for me. So I think the candies are just honestly, sometimes it's been out of the realm of normal things. Like my grandparents were never let me get you a whole basket of treats, but let me get you one thing that you'll actually use, whatever that may be. But I think now it's more so that because I don't usually buy myself this type of, big bunch of chocolates or anything.
So your
like
preference
that.
is chocolate over flowers, but but flowers are a second,
I mean, they're fine.
What-
I'm allergic to everything, so flowers make me sneeze.
Forget
Everything
the
makes me
flowers,
sneeze. Don't worry
fellas,
about the
forget the
flowers.
Do not buy Taylor Doll flowers.
Lauren, what do you say? What do you look forward to?
Yeah, I'm not
What-
traditional probably either.
Yeah.
I mean, I love flowers, but I would say more of like experiences. So
Yeah.
Brian always cooks a really good dinner. That's
Yeah.
fantastic. We don't ever go out to eat for Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
We always eat in at home. And then like concert tickets
Yeah.
or going somewhere.
There's a hockey game this week. I mean, take me to the Iceman game.
Oh,
Like,
there
there's
you
a
go.
Valentine's.
I
yeah,
like
tickets
that.
to
Yeah.
the upcoming Jumbo Shrimp, like all that type of stuff to me is super fun. And
Yeah.
I've always wondered, and Tom, so maybe you can answer this. Why is the onus of Valentine's Day always on the guy? If you're each other's Valentine, why don't you both have to contribute?
Yeah,
but
you
it feels
should.
like it's like
Yeah.
the guy has
The
to do
guy's
it all.
gotta figure it out. Yeah.
Why is that?
I don't know. It's funny. Christina and I, we celebrate it, but we think it's kind of a dumb thing, to be honest with you, because every day is Valentine's
celebrate
Day.
that
Every
person,
day
yeah.
you should
Get
be
chocolate for your
loving
woman every day,
Well,
or for your husband every day.
Whatever, vacuum the floor. It's the same kind of thing. Whatever the love language is.
That's right.
That's the way you go. But, I don't know. I do notes. That's what I do. I do.
Oh,
hand,
that's
I've
very
always done
sweet.
handwritten.
Handwritten.
I always
So
have
we know you're
problems
not
with the
printing
R.
anything.
No,
Jason Witten.
I'm not
leaves
doing any
me
digital cards or
notes.
anything. That's for sure. Yeah, no, just handwritten. Happy
Okay.
Valentine's Day, and I always do the same thing. I make a big heart with an arrow through it, and then Daddy loves Mommy. That's it.
That's
and then
very
I write a little
sweet.
sweet note.
Which
Yeah.
a little preview, 1010XL is going to have its annual social media Valentine's cards
some
out
good ones coming up.
tomorrow.
Oh, really?
and
Okay.
Taylor's very creative when it comes to these. So
Nice.
looking forward to those.
Okay.
But yeah, we are at 333 Village Main Street. So if you're not exactly sure where we are, we're very close to Aqua Grill is the easiest way to
Yeah,
say it.
yeah.
And the public shopping center in the Sawgrass Village, certainly right next door. So
And that's Nona Blue,
Yeah,
right?
Nona
there,
Blue's
right?
right there,
Blue
too.
is right there as well.
Yep.
So yeah, a perfect spot to be right outside, obviously, of the Players Championship
That's
where
right.
Media
It's
Day is
coming up.
going on
Yes.
today,
Coming
and so lots of people playing golf there. But yeah, let's get into some Jaguars football. And we did see a note from Chad Forbes earlier today that
Yeah.
I thought was really interesting. Taylor, you put it in our group text as far as he said, don't see the Jaguars moving Trayvon Walker to free up $15 million in cap room because he's on the fifth-year option. Won't return enough value. You'd expect Patrick McCary to draw interest from the Chargers. Walker Little is a backup option for a team looking to fill left or right tackle, both basically salary dumps. That surprised me a little bit because not the Trayvon Walker part, but more the Patrick McCary part, unless they're fully into the idea that Wyatt Milam's going to be the right guard.
Yeah.
Well, and I'm a little surprised because of the back injury, so there may be some kind of settlement there. If he's healthy, I hope he is,
Right.
so he can continue. I know the Chargers are letting Zion Johnson be a free agent. He was a first-round pick out of BC, good against the run, not really good against the pass. So maybe there's a fit there. I get that. If you're asking me, yes, I'm keeping Trayvon over those two
Yeah,
combined.
sure.
Because Trayvon's going to do more for me now and down the road. But yeah, look, Walker Little, I could see that. I mean, here's the thing: those deals were done before these guys got here. Like Tyson Campbell was not they didn't extend him.
Walker
Yeah,
Little
Little
was,
wasn't, but McCary was.
McCary was the guy that they brought in.
McCary was,
Yeah.
yes, but not Walker Little. That's right.
And
That's
Trayvon
right.
Walker isn't a guy they brought in either, but
Yep.
from all I can figure, they love him.
Want to have him on the
Yeah.
team. Yeah. And
You need him on the team.
And
still.
I think that either way, and when we've been discussing, and we'll get more into it of what we value, what we think is most important, at least free agency to this point, the position groups that we all feel are most important, that changes. Once free agency happens, that starts to shift for the draft and depending on what moves you make in free agency. But I do think that either way, they'd have to still address the offensive line just because, do you feel like allowing 40 sacks is good enough? I'd hope they say no. So I'd hope they'd bring people in to still compete. And you have your young guys that you really haven't got to see in Monheim and Milam that you didn't get to see enough out of. So there's probably some hope that those guys can come in and play pivotal roles moving forward too. And so in that, if you could get a value out of someone like a McCary who struggled with injury this year, and maybe they say, okay, well, we can take this hit, we can get some money back. The Chargers, who definitely had some hits on their offensive line this year when it came to injuries, that's another thing. Are they looking at this like this is a player? We've already dealt with injuries. Do we want a player that's dealing with more injuries? So that all kind of values into it. But I do think that what I'm guessing is they'd already be investing into the offensive line. So freeing up, giving yourself a little bit more money for two players that can go elsewhere and you get something in exchange. I don't know what that looks like, but I feel like that there is value there, in my opinion.
And I'll tell you, in the short period of time, I think Walker Little could play right guard if you really needed to him.
Yeah.
And you didn't want to have to, use him as a salary dump.
An expensive right guard.
Yeah, but so what?
But
At this
sometimes
point,
that happens.
At
yeah.
this point, who
And if
cares?
you trust,
just
if you trust him, and I do think that Trevor Lawrence and Walker Little have had a good relationship the time that they've been here, and so not saying that you value that over offensive line play, but I do think Walker Little played really well at right guard. At the end of the season,
he was very aggressive playing in that position. I'd like to at least see if they keep him. I can understand if they don't. I understand that wholeheartedly, but if they keep him, I'd like to see him at that right guard spot. Look, the 41 sacks are way too many. The 2 games of 14 bring that down to 27. Now, I'm not excuse
because that's
guy.
the good
Right.
defenses.
Right,
That's
and
the thing.
I'd like to. If we went back, and I haven't done this, but if we went back to both those games, how many of those sacks were maybe miscommunication? Not just guys getting beat. I'm sure guys got beat. Of course they did. But that was during the time the offense was still trying to figure itself out, and it wasn't working. A little bit better with Seattle than L.A. Rams. Obviously, the point differential was different. But just curious, did Trevor miss something, or did the lineman miss something? Sometimes those sacks, you see them on paper like, oh, that's a sack, and it is. But sometimes there's miscommunication, like nobody blocks the guy in front of him for some reason. The one guard goes right, the center goes left, and that guy just comes right up the middle.
Right.
So
there's coverage sacks. There's the quarterback holding onto the ball too long.
Right.
Yeah, there are, and that's where I'm sure if we went back to our notes or tweets during the game, we'd at least have a little bit better of an idea of as it was happening live, because it is hard to just look at stats and go back and be like, oh, well, that's what happened in that game.
Yeah, I do remember just like from my thoughts being like Trevor is my thought. And I thought that I had thinking back to those games, I remember tweeting like Trevor is getting terrorized this game. Like I remember thinking that like he was having to leave the pocket very early. There was a lot of, and so he probably honestly avoided more sacks than because he can use his legs and move around. I specifically remember that because I remember like maybe three plays in being like, this is going to be a long day. And it was.
Two very good defenses.
Yes.
There's no doubt.
And so that's the thing, though. Is that going to be the thing forever?
No.
Okay, when you play good defenses, you're going to get sacked 7 times, or do you get a line? Other teams played those defenses and weren't getting sacked 7 times.
Well, and they gave up 5 to Houston. They gave up 5 to another team as well. So I could see them upgrading.
Probably the Broncos.
The Broncos had 5. You're right. Great call. I could see them look at their offensive line. Cole had a great year. I love him. I could have him as my left tackle as long as he's healthy, which I think he is. By the way, I don't know if that's – I said something about surgery maybe a couple weeks. That's not confirmed. So I don't know if he did or he didn't. I know he had the knee injury, so hopefully he can come back 100%. The question is, do you keep Anton at right? Do you move him over to left? I would think with what they have already that they would look at the draft to bring in maybe another guard, maybe a swing tackle. Depends what happens with Walker Little. I would say as far as needs on the team, I would put that maybe 4th. I'd put interior D-line, DB, corner, nickel, safety. Whatever, safety in that defensive backfield, and then maybe even tight end. Like I think we might need another tight end, although I like Quentin Morris a lot. And we know what we have in Strange. So all O-line, maybe not like I need to go get some big free agent or just a free agent in general. Maybe I got enough here, add it through the draft, find some guys that fit our, what we're looking for as an offensive lineman.
I don't think they're going to be bringing in a super expensive free agent like we saw some teams do with offensive linemen last year. I don't think we're going to do that. By the way, looking back at Trevor's rushing yards in those 2 games, the Seattle game and the Rams game, against the Seahawks, 3 rushes for 9 yards, and against the Rams, 2 rushes for 18 yards.
So he was taking up. Maybe he couldn't either, though. So.
Right.
There's always just like turning and spinning.
There are always nuances there, but that's another key to the offense that we saw. We saw the later in the years is the ability to take off. Right. So we'll keep it on Jaguars and the needs as we go through free agency and the draft. You are listening to Helmets and Heels live from Peterbrook Chocolatier here in Ponte Vedra. It's 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Fasten your seatbelt.
Your afternoon Uber drivers.
Come on, let's take a ride.
The Franchi Show.
It's a big mobile.
Let us give you a lift.
0 to 60 in 3.2 seconds.
Afternoons 4 to 6 on 1010XL.
At Hollis Pools, building a pool is personal. We sit down with you, listen to your vision, and bring your backyard dreams to life right here in Northeast Florida. Working with us doesn't feel like working with a contractor. It feels like working with family. Every Hollis Pools project supports Project Savior Outdoors, helping bring hope to our veterans. Visit HollisPools.com. Hollis Pools, your vision, your pool, your escape. License number CPC 1461233.
The month for love is a perfect time to get your home organized. Hey, this is Lauren Brooks, and I love our closets from Closets by Design. They create custom storage systems designed around how you actually live, from closets and garages to entertainment centers, laundry rooms, and storage for any space and budget. With their new showroom now open, they have extended the offer of 40% off, plus an extra 15% off, free installation, and 18-month special financing. We were in that new showroom last week. You definitely want to check it out. So schedule your free consultation by calling 904-878-9393 or find them online, closetsbydesign.com.
When your home or business deserves more than ordinary glass, you trust the experts. Capital Glass and Shower Doors has been elevating spaces for over 40 years with precision, craftsmanship, and clean, modern design. From sleek frameless shower enclosures to elegant glass railings, wine cabinets, and any custom glass that makes a statement, Capital Glass delivers unmatched quality, service, and attention to detail. Your vision, their expertise. Capital Glass and Shower Doors at capcoglass.com.
Rookies, free agents, and trade talk.
The ability to see the future and react to it. Now that is what I do.
The off-season is a time to tune up the roster.
I'm all ears.
Follow the road to the regular season with AA Automotive and 1010XL.
Let's talk about the sound no homeowner wants to hear. Drip, drip, drip. Still dripping. That's exactly why Duck Duck Rooter created the Love Your Pipes promotion. Plumbing problems don't scare us. Not with years of experience and honest upfront pricing on our side. Right now, you can get free plumbing assessment on all fixtures with any paid plumbing service. It's the smart move to fix the issue now before it becomes bigger. So when you're stuck, call the Duck, 904-862-6769, duckduckrooter.com.
Get ready to break on through this Valentine's night. Experience the Ultimate Doors Tribute live at Thrasher Horn Center February 14th. Get tickets at thcenter.org.
Hi, I'm Mac with Baker Glass. If you've got fogged up windows, let me help. We'll replace them with clear, insulated units that brighten up your home. People say we're fast, friendly, and reliable. Just check out our Google reviews. Call me today. Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
Get your tickets for the Tom Coughlin J Fund Wine Tasting Gala. Join Super Bowl winning coach Tom Coughlin at VyStar Ballpark Thursday, March 5th and raise a glass to help local families tackling childhood cancer. Enjoy hundreds of wines from around the world and food from top local restaurants. Buy tickets and learn more at tcjfund.org/wine. tcjfund.org/wine.
Hey, it's Travis from Cannons of Jacks. Thank you for trusting us for 55 years of custom welding fabrication and vehicle towing accessories. When you need a trailer hitch for the family car, a gooseneck for the company truck, or even RV towing options, call us at Cannons. We can do a bumper hitch, fifth wheel hitch, anything for safe, reliable towing. Come to Cannons of Jacks, where service is our #1 priority and we treat our customers as we like to be treated. Check us out online, cannonsofjacks.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
Taylor Dahl, Tom McManus. RJ Center's back at 1010XL headquarters. I'm Lauren Brooks. And we are live here at Peterbrook Chocolates here in Ponte Vedra Beach. And I will say there has been a steady stream of customers in here because they know Valentine's Day is on Saturday and they are here to get their loved one some Peterbrook chocolate. It is the absolute best. Chocolate-covered strawberries, champagne truffles, chocolate-covered popcorn, and so much more. I was telling y'all when I was younger, my favorite things were the chocolate-covered graham crackers and the chocolate-covered Oreos.
Oh, yes.
So delicious.
Yeah, we were talking about the pretzels, too. They have the
Yes.
chocolate-covered pretzels that are delicious. Yes. I do love the chocolate-covered strawberries a lot. And if you know me, cute little bears, like any bear I love. And they have the cutest little bear, the chocolate bears over there. I kind of need to get one of those for myself. They also have wine, by the way, because you can, like, obviously certain wines pair well with certain chocolates. And so I pointed that out to Lauren right away.
That's right.
Some wine bottles
A lot of times when you go to wine tastings, whether it's in California or wherever, they'll give you, for certain red wines, they'll give you a dark chocolate.
For the palate.
Because the tannins in the wine come out best when paired with the chocolate. Yeah.
There you go.
So yeah, we've got white chocolate, strawberry chocolate is what it looks like with those bears. So yeah, make sure you come by here. Everything's wrapped perfectly. You really have to do nothing other than come by, pick something out, pay for it, and leave, and get your free chocolate.
For the record, I'm not part of the Census Bureau, but I've seen more women than men buying chocolate. For the record,
that is valid
At
because
least the
men
short
love
time
chocolate
we've been
too, and maybe they
also might be for their galentines.
Also
Galentines is a big thing now.
Also
for the ladies.
We had one.
We had one.
Well, not me, but my daughter at the house. I was like, what?
Like you and Jimmy and Bees.
We were drinking gallons is what we were drinking.
There you go. You just spelled galentine a little differently.
Yeah, exactly.
I like that. Of all people to suggest that, I'm not surprised it was you.
Exactly.
All right, so let's collectively decide the Jaguars' biggest needs based off of obviously the great year they had at 13-5 this past year, 13-4 in the regular season, and then obviously losing in the wild card round to the Bills, coming up just short, a field goal short. So the biggest needs, I think we would all agree that some sort of pass rushing defensive tackle is a massive need for this team.
Yeah, interior is number one. The interior D-line, number one. I feel
Interior
like it
D-line.
has to be, and it has been for 3 years now. So at some point, you really got to. And it's not that, and they've tried. There's been several things when it comes to. You've drafted a lot of players that play on the interior. Obviously, with you bring a Devon back. Was it Devon back?
Yeah.
Whatever. Devon's being
Smoot.
here. Smoot back there. You've tried things, and you get Eric Armstead, and you put Eric Armstead in this last year, and it looks better, obviously, when he plays his actual position that he plays. But I still think you live in this world where
Kryptonite.
Lauren's bringing us chocolate popcorn and a tray of assorted goodies. Thank you, Lauren.
I just feel like it's one of the biggest things that has been an issue. And even if you say that right now you feel like you could be okay, you still have to think about the next 5-10 years. And I don't know is there anybody there that you see in 5 years being a playmaker on the interior defensive line right now?
Maybe Mason Smith is the biggest question. Unless they move Trayvon.
That's a maybe. I know, and Jefferson's out of here, right?
Yeah,
they had him in the 4th round, but you don't have anybody young. Maybe Dickerson, but he's a guy that's serviceable, but you still need an upgrade at that position, even if Eric stays, which I think he's going to stay just because of the salary and the way it is, unless it's post June 1, right? Like I said earlier in the week. But no, you need that. You need even if he is here, then you got a good rotation. You get these younger guys in there that can pass rush and can push the pocket. You got to push the pocket. And look, I agree with Taylor. We've tried, but we haven't tried enough. Now, in Balky's defense, we thought Eric was going to be that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when Eric came from San Fran, we were like,
it was talked about.
Like this is. I was like, oh my gosh, we're getting Eric Armstead next to Josh. Like this is going to be insane. That's what Josh has been missing since Calais Campbell was gone. Calais Campbell in that first, really gave, and that when you got a tackle next to you as a rush end, that they don't, they got to double him sometimes because he's that good. That just makes your life so much easier. Then if you got the other side covered, now you're really talking. You get a situational guy in. Now you're like, holy cow, the quarterback. That's what Seattle has.
Yep.
Right.
That's what Seattle has. We went through it earlier in
New
the
England.
week. Yeah, exactly. But
all the
depth-wise,
Final Four teams.
Yeah.
But depth-wise for Seattle, like those linemen, they're 7 deep.
Yeah.
Ends included, but still, you're like, man, these guys are interchangeable. They can move inside, they can play outside. They're
no
getting
one has
sacks.
that, right? Like Seattle is the only team I think that has that kind of depth.
Well, maybe that many.
Yeah, that kind of depth. So that's why it's not necessarily that easy to recreate.
Denver's got it too, though. I mean, they're loaded as well. I mean, you don't get that many sacks and that much hits and that many pressures without it. I mean, but Seattle's probably the creme de la creme.
Yeah, I'd say Philly's close to that in the sense of I don't know as 7 deep, but they definitely have that rotation in the middle and outside that you can use. And I think that those are the teams. Granted, Philly this year didn't have the season that they probably wanted. I think a lot of that's more offensive side of the ball. But you win a Super Bowl and you dominate the Kansas City Chiefs because of your defense, and that's what it came down to.
And
they've
a lot
invested.
Of the interior defense.
Right. No, those teams have invested heavily in that. So we can say, the Jags have poured resources into the defensive front, but not like some of these teams have. Yeah, and so that's why I know Hayes said it yesterday. He expects the Jags to kind of go all in defensively when it comes to the draft this year.
Yeah, I think so too. Let me ask you this. What's the window of opportunity for this team right now? We'd like to say forever, but that's not realistic. Next 5 years? With quarterback and
to me,
there's variables into that. Don't get me wrong, like how you draft and who you keep and all that kind of stuff. But there is a window of opportunity. So they were very bold with Travis Hunter. Are they going to be bold again this offseason? Because you had 13 wins and you crapped out in the playoffs. What do we need? We need to be bold and grab somebody or more than just one, but at least that somebody that changes our landscape of our team, that takes us past the wild card game into the divisional round and beyond. You know what I mean? Like that. Are they going to be as bold? Because eventually the window does shut.
Sure.
It does shut.
Obviously, part of the answer is they don't have the same resources that they had a year ago, because a year ago they were taking over a 4-win team, and so therefore they were picking 5th overall, and so they could make decisions a little differently. Will they be bold? I think they've told us from the beginning that they will always be bold, so I would like to think so. I don't know what that looks like and materializes this year, but to me, to answer your first question about the window, to me, as long as Trevor Lawrence is playing well, that's your window.
Okay.
Like the Rams had to tear. I mean, they said F them picks, right? And they had no first-round picks for quite some time. And then they've had to rebuild that entire roster, and yet that's a team that came close once again to making the Super Bowl.
Right.
So I would say if you've got the quarterback, there's your window. That's an easy answer, though.
Well, and that we've had him for 5 years, and this year in 2022 was very good. 2023 was pretty good as well.
Right.
So can he continue on? But will they be? Well, you know what's bold to me, Taylor? Go get a guy like Max Crosby. Whatever you got to let Trayvon go. Go get him because he'll give you that extra oomph to get, or Trey Hendrickson because now he's healthy. He's on number one on a lot of people's boards as a free agent. That to me is bold. You want to fix this defensive line. Now they're not interior guys, but a guy like that or guys like that, Max or a Trey Hendrickson type, those guys, they're difference makers. They would change the landscape of your pass rush the minute they get here. You know, would that be bold enough for this team to do?
Yeah, because I think the quarterback conversation, as long as you have your quarterback, is interesting because we've kind of started shifting into this conversation with Patrick Mahomes, for example, and Josh Allen. Like, is that window starting to close for those quarterbacks? And they were Patrick Mahomes 4 years before Trevor, and Josh Allen 3. But I do think there's still, even when you have your quarterback, it does feel at times that it starts to hit that other side of the hill at a certain point of, okay, when is this window? And that's why it does feel like that 5 year, like, especially because Trevor's already in his 5th year. So you're talking about in 5 years, you're in year 10 Trevor already. And so I think that's when you usually do start seeing some decline from these quarterbacks, even the better ones, even Aaron Rodgers, even Russell Wilson. Those guys get to that point where if you're not Tom Brady, you kind of hit this point where things start to shift a little bit and you're not in full, it's not, you aren't the only reason your team is winning anymore. You do need help. We're seeing Patrick Mahomes need some help now a little bit. And for a while, it felt like he could do it all on his own.
And you take Josh Allen and what he's done in the play. Like, if the window wasn't this year, when is the window? So their window's open as long as he's playing. I get that, but the window's still open.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, when are you going to win? So you gotta eventually win that title.
Yeah.
You have to win that title if you're the Buffalo Bills. If you're Josh Allen, that's all you're thinking about. Great, I'm MVP. Great, I got all these accolades. What am I missing? I'm missing the title. I'm missing the Super Bowl ring. I mean, I got to have that, right, in order to be considered the elite of the elite of the elite, even though they are elite.
But
Josh Allen
I think that's the cool part about the NFL is we see teams win in different ways. So there's not just one formula. It hasn't always been Tom Brady or Patrick Mahomes wins the Super Bowl. We've seen Jalen Hurts win.
A lot of them.
A lot of them for sure. Yeah. But we've seen Jalen Hurts win 2 years ago, and I don't think people would say he's nearly as good as Tom Brady or Patrick Mahomes.
Sam Darnold this year.
And then, Sam Darnold this year. And if it wasn't Sam Darnold, it would have been Drake May, right? And so there's a good side to that, too, is maybe you don't have to have the elite of the elite quarterback to win the Super Bowl if you surround that quarterback with a fantastic defense. And then a run game, obviously, is what they had both in Seattle and in Philly, too. And so to me, the real window question comes down to your general manager and the scouts and those people that are in charge of the player procurement, because those personnel decisions are a huge part of it. Like, yes, the coaches have to be great and strength and conditioning has to be great, but you also have to pick the right guys. And that's certainly what we've seen the Super Bowl teams do. And then if they don't have all the elite weapons, then you have the elite quarterback, the
coach,
best of the best, right?
Like a Tomlin. Yeah. And that's why we talk so much about the Rams and the Seahawks, because their ownership and their general managers have done such a good job. And not just for, our window's 5 years. To them, they're like, as long as we keep doing what we're doing, and sometimes that's being very aggressive. Sometimes that's trading away players that people are asking why you're trading them away. Sometimes that's trading away all your picks and people wondering why you're throwing all your picks away. But they know how to manage everything for the future. And that's the thing that this organization hasn't been good at. And that's what you're kind of hoping James Gladstone and Tony Baselli now are able to say, okay, the window can be longer if you do this the right way. That it's not easy to do. I mean, we're only naming a few teams that have been able to do that consistently without a Tom Brady or a Mike Tomlin who's, brought them over. And even that, Tomlin, I mean, it's been a long time since he was able to win a Super Bowl. And so you look at that stretch of quarterbacks that for so long, and even then Flacco won a Super Bowl. Nick Foles won a Super Bowl. But then there was a lot of Tom Brady. There was a lot of Manning. There was a lot of Roethlisberger. There was a lot of that stretch of time where it was still Drew Brees. Those guys were the ones winning. And then you had a flash here and there of the other teams that figured it out with a good defense like the Ravens. And that's what we kind of saw this year. So there are different formulas, but what seems to be the right formula is a good coach and a good quarterback and organizations that know how to build for the future.
Well, look, Stafford saying I'm coming back, their window's still open, right? So they're going to make another run at it. You'd think if they keep it all together, that would be. So, look, I mean, at least here, how long is the window open? Maybe 5 years, maybe 7. We'll see. But at that time, I mean, you got to win. You know, it's not
first
just getting there. It's
first they have to show that they can win again
forward.
next year.
I agree.
Right?
Yeah,
like, because you can't have the way it has been, which is
up and down.
Playoffs,
right.
bust, playoffs, and then, bust, that kind of thing. But I do think that as we sit here now, with everything Liam Cohen was able to accomplish in year one, you have to believe that this team is now built for that in the future, right? And yes, having James Gladstone make the right decisions along with Tony Baselli in the mix, like to be able to win 13 games as a first-year head coach. This wasn't a Vrabel who had been a head coach before and then came to coach another team.
No, right.
But and what they inherited a team that had a losing culture, had a team that on defense had no idea what they were doing the last 2 years, really, and they were able to come in and totally revamp those things in one season.
No, you got to they get a ton of credit for that. The devil's advocate side of it is, we said it before, like we've seen this before.
Yeah, you've seen the one good season after a bad season.
Let's go back to 2017. Did we not think 2018?
I picked the Jags to win the Super Bowl in 2018.
Remember when New England came to town? We beat them in week 2 or 3, right? And we thought, oh my gosh, here we go. This is going to be unbelievable. And then it went down the crapper. You know what I mean? So and then we know what happened in 2022. I know after that year, I'm like, and by the way, they did too. They believed in all the hype. I mean, it was crazy. Remember, training camp, you're like, guys, take it easy. We're going to break records. We're going to do all this stuff. He's going to throw it all over. We're Ridley's here. We're going to do all this stuff. You know what? Take it easy. Take it easy for crying out loud. So can they handle that? Because it happened in 07, right? Yeah. 08 was bad. 2017. 2018 was bad. 22, 23 wasn't bad, but
is there something in the water?
No, but that's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Is the foundation there enough?
Yeah.
And another thing that's really great about what they've done, they walked into some dead money, dead cap, like taking hits. You know, they didn't sign these guys. They didn't give extensions, whatever the case may be. So it takes more than a year to clean things up, if you will, right? And what they've done in the first year is pretty remarkable.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Whenever we talk about 2025, we always have to stop and say they overachieved. Like, none of us expected the Jaguars to be hosting a playoff game. Right. Granted, once the season got, especially once we got to the third quarter of the season, then the expectations changed. Right. But as far as a year ago, if I had told everyone the Jags are going to play host to the Bills in a playoff game at Everbank Field, that's unbelievable. Yeah. But, so sweet. Handing out gifts for Taylor here at Peterbrook Chocolatier in Ponte Vedra Beach.
Very nice.
We love our listeners. Thank you so much.
He got me the bear.
Oh, so sweet.
Let's eat it.
Oh, I don't know if I can eat it.
No, you can't eat that. We have our own goodies that we'll eat here. But yeah, thanks so much to Peterbrook, and thanks to all the listeners who have stopped by so far. Keep on coming by. You're listening to Helmets and Heels, 10 to Next on 92.5 FM.
Good luck surviving the offseason, football fans.
At first I was afraid, I was petrified. Football's over, it's like a part of me just died inside. 200 days till football's back, but tonight I won't just cry, cause I've got a ways to play. And that's the place with Hard Rock Bet, I will survive.
Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, please call 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
At the First Coast YMCA, there's no place like this place, with programs and experiences that will bring your whole family together. Summer will be here before we know it, and Y Summer Day Camp registration is now open. Visit your local Y to secure your child's spot early for a season full of memories and adventure. Don't delay. Day camps will fill up. There's no place like this place, so visit your local Y to sign up or online at fcymca.org. Search Summer Day Camp.
When it's game time, make feeding the crowd easy. Chicken Salad Chick serves fresh Southern-style chicken salad, flavorful sides, and crowd-favorite catering trays. Order ahead at chickcatering.com or visit one of 4 area locations today.
Hey guys, Taylor Dahl here from Helmets and Heels. We are live out here at Peterbrook Chocolatier in Ponte Vedra. Still a couple days until Valentine's Day, and what better way than to celebrate your loved one than with Peterbrook Chocolate. Locally owned with 15 North Florida locations, quality ingredients, and many options to fit your budget. Hand-dipped strawberries, a chocolate heart filled with popcorn, truffles, custom gift baskets, and a listener just brought me one of these cute chocolate bears. So head over here to Peterbrook Chocolatier, like I said, 15 locations in North Florida, or head to peterbrook.com. That's peterbrook.com.
Money pages in your mailbox right now.
Did you know there's local savings sitting in your mailbox right now? Money Pages is packed with real coupons from your favorite local businesses. Save money at restaurants like Al's Pizza, on pet care at Forever Vets, and on entertainment for the whole family at the Alhambra Theater. Plus, make sure to download the Money Pages app for savings on the go.
Pages in your mailbox right now.
This is Jeff Middlecoff with Cogent Bank. My associate Ryan Salem and I joined Cogent Bank because we wanted to revolutionize the mortgage business, just like Cogent Bank has revolutionized the banking business. So Ryan Salem and I are able to leverage the power and stability of Cogent Bank to go out and find our clients the best investors, the best products, and the best rates in the entire country for your particular mortgage loan. Of course, you don't have to be a customer at Cogent Bank to take advantage of our mortgage services to buy or refinance your home. We offer jumbo loans, VA, FHA, conventional, and investment loans. At Cogent Bank, we offer mortgages nationwide, so we can help you with a second home or help a family member who lives or is moving to another state. Call Ryan Salem or myself, Jeff Middlecoff, at Cogent Bank today, 904-442-9191, to see how we can help you with any of your mortgage loan needs, whatever or wherever they may be.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, Cogent Bank, NMLS ID 402296, Ryan Salem, NMLS ID 1182429, Jeff Middlecoff, NMLS ID 249086.
For 25 years, Instant Keys has been the go-to locksmith service for car keys, transponders, and even high-tech smart locks. For honest, professional locksmith service,
Instant Keys comes to you.
Bro, have you heard about the hottest and newest sports league in town?
Vanguard Sports League isn't just VIP, it's the standard. Smoke-filled tunnel intros, cool benches with canopies, big scoreboards, championship rings, and convenient locations all across Jacksonville. Oh, and mascot potties there hyping everyone up every game. No wonder it's the talk of the town. Spring and summer registration now open.
Search VanguardSportsLeague.com today.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
Tom McManus, Taylor Dahl. I'm Lauren Brooks, live here at Peterbrook Chocolates here in Ponte Vedra Beach. RJ Saunders back at World Headquarters. Aaron Williams here helping us engineer and get it all done. All right, so not just do people get to come by Peterbrook Chocolates here and get a free chocolate-covered strawberry while they shop for their loved one and get chocolate, we also have a massive giveaway. When I say massive, I mean massive.
It's massive.
That's right. Be the right caller, and I'll say caller number 2, 641-1010, caller number 2. You are winning a $500 gift certificate to Beards Diamonds plus $75 to Wick a Candle Bar. And then, of course, head over to 1010XL.com for our Valentine's Day gift guide for more great gift ideas. $500 to Beards Diamonds and $75 to Wick a Candle Bar. You know, our listeners really get treated to the best stuff.
Oh, yeah, they really do.
They really do. Yeah. We are good to our listeners.
So if you just remember today, this weekend's Valentine's Day, we've got your gift for you.
Exactly. You got that right. It is on Saturday. All right, so we're talking about the Jaguars and as far as how we prioritize their biggest needs. We all agree number 1 would be defensive tackle as far as a pass rushing defensive tackle. Devon Hamilton was excellent against the run this year, but the Jaguars didn't get enough interior pass rush especially when Eric Armstead was injured. 5.5 sacks before the injury.
Agreed.
But once he got injured, there was no depth there. Mason Smith, at least so far, has not turned out to be that guy, and really no one else was able to
Johnson,
get right.
Dickerson,
right.
Smoot. They tried. They played their asses
off.
off.
They tried Trayvon inside at times. It
just a little bit more.
None of it ever got to the quarterback. So number 2. Are you going to say secondary? And I'll kind of lump secondary together. Probably a little bit more safety and another corner. Or are you going to say backup tight end? I highly doubt that. Are you going to say another running back? I would say that might be a priority. If Etienne's not here, another linebacker. How would you go? Pass rusher?
First of all, there's a lot of tight ends that are free agents. There's about 4 or 5 of them that are.
Okay.
Now you got to see what happens with their team and what happens with them and that kind of thing. So I wouldn't call it a backup tight end. I would just call it an addition to Bretton Strange, because today you used 2.
Yeah.
You know, by the way, Otten's one of them. I don't know if they want to reunite it and feel so good, him and Liam Cohen, but from their Tampa days. But you know, he's a guy that was counted out in the past. So I don't know if that's a real priority. So let's go secondary. And then, but here's the question. Okay, so Antonio's one of my safeties. This is my opinion. If Travis comes back healthy, he's one of my corners.
Yep.
Jordan Lewis comes back healthy. He's another one of my corner or nickel. Him and Jarian can kind of figure it out. But I want Buster back too.
Yeah.
So now I got 5 corners. So am I looking to upgrade to 5, or you're not keeping all 5, or what? You know what I'm saying? Like, look, I'm, and I don't want to sound like this. I was going to say done with. That's not wrong because it's disrespectful. But like the Christian Braswells of the team, great. They love him. He tries hard. But he's never broken through to be that starting every down corner, even in a situational type. On occasion he has. Yeah. He's filled in nicely. I don't mean it like that.
He's good on special teams.
He's good on special teams, right. So maybe you keep him for that. But if you go corner and you go high-priced corner, whatever that may be, and there's a few of them that are out there, are you – okay, so who's he jumping in front of? Is it Jordan or is it Jarian? Is it Jarian again? I think Jarian's proved that you can count on him. You can count on him big time to be a starter, whether you play inside or outside. I don't think it's going to matter.
But we know, as far as corners are concerned, you have to have depth there.
Yeah,
there's always some sort of
5.
Injury, right?
For the 3 positions, though.
Right.
And that's
so a little bit more.
That's
if Buster's back.
Right. Yeah. And that's what's interesting about this year is the coaching staff. Obviously, you're always going to want to improve. You don't want to go through one of those off seasons again, which we've had seen before, where they get too comfortable. Yep. You win a lot of football games, and you're like, oh, we're good. We don't have to make too many moves. You always want to improve and make things better. And we talk about that foundation being there and how the longevity of everything. But how much is this coaching staff and James Gladstone looking at this team and saying, if these guys stay healthy, things look completely different. If Travis Hunter was out there, how much different does the defense look? If Jordan Lewis didn't get hurt, Devin Lloyd didn't get hurt, if Trayvon and Eric Armstead were playing healthy, and that's a lot of ifs, that's a lot of injuries. Right. But you had a team that in 2022 was one of the healthiest teams in the NFL, and that's why I think a lot of things worked out. You can't always count on that, but how much are they looking at that and saying, okay, well, all of these guys, you still have to build the depth, but we feel like our starting guys, when they're healthy, can be one of the better defenses in the NFL, and you saw it in glimpses this season when the guys were healthy.
Yeah. No, I think there's a lot of truth to that.
And if Caleb Bransaw had not
yeah.
But like you said, that's a lot of ifs and injuries happen. So the deal is, what's your depth? Like, and by the way, I've always felt this. I know when I was a backup, I felt like you can start. Like your mentality is, I'm a backup, but if I need to start, I'm ready to start. I'm ready to be that guy. So I always feel like backups should be able to start. I know a lot of people think backups, they just, run around on practice and maybe special teams and whatnot. No, they should be good enough to start. And by the way, I wasn't the only one. Brant Boyer, Jeff Cobb, we all were like, if we got to step in there, we'll get the job done. Maybe not to that level of athleticism or whatever you're looking for, or whatever that production, but good enough. It's not like to the rim with brim, you know what I mean? But maybe not all the way to the top,
right?
But pretty darn
But there
close.
shouldn't be a massive drop-off between starter, the backup.
Your depth has to come in.
Unless you're superstar. I get that. That's a little bit different. But holding down the fort, if you will. Your left tackle goes. You saw it in a left tackle. He may not win every single snap, but he holds down the fort enough to be like, okay, I can win with that kid.
Yeah, sure. And that's why Cole Van Lannon got paid, because there not only wasn't a big drop-off between Walker Little and Cole Van Lannon, some would say Cole Van Lannon was better than Walker Little when he had to play.
And in their defense, and we all thought too, Emmanuel Ogbah was going to be a force. So if there was an injury, because he can play inside, he can play outside, he did it in his career, he did it with Miami, we thought maybe he was going to be something more than what he showed. They probably did too, and it didn't, for whatever reason, work out.
Because Camp had a prior relationship, with Ogbah. Yeah, I think it's funny in all these conversations. I feel like we have basically, without trying to or meaning to, we have basically made Travis Hunter a corner. There's so much less conversation now about him playing. I understand he's going to play both sides of the ball at times, but I feel like just from their roster, and Gladstone said it after the season, like based off of what they have, of what they need, Travis Hunter, we almost now are putting him as corner, like CB1.
Yeah, and I think that it could, if Jacoby Myers wasn't on this team and Parker didn't have the season we had, then I think the conversation would still be just as deep of we need Travis on both sides, or which side do you think he's going to make more impact. But I think because the way the offense showed up in that second half of the year when it comes to, just everything, like the explosiveness of them being able to do things, even when they weren't running the ball as well, the offense was being able to score a lot of points. And because of the season Parker had, because of what Jacoby added, you're not talking about that. And that is nice because you're not having to force Travis Hunter into this world of like, we need you to be a great wide receiver and a great corner. We're like, go do your thing on the defensive side of the ball, and then we'll do some fun stuff on offense when we need to.
I mean, think about it.
Or
They
want
were,
to.
6th, 8th in scoring without Travis Hunter?
Yeah.
And I love him. I use him as DN. Like, full-time corner, throw him in. I would even let him return punts when there's a big, gap, and it's, you know what I mean? Like, they're backed up, and maybe you let them return
No,
a punt.
Parker's got that.
Whatever.
But no, I know what you mean.
That speed would take off. Nobody's going to catch him.
I do think that's what we'll see is, like, at moments the defense looks up and number 12 is lined up with the offense, and then they're trying to figure out, and they're having to scramble and figure out what do we do now?
Tell me Campanile isn't salivating over the idea that Travis Hunter could do what Witherspoon did for Seattle. Are you kidding me? He's like, oh my gosh,
this would be so fun.
Changes everything.
Correct.
It changes our entire defense.
100%. All right, so we'll keep the Jaguars conversation going live here from Peterbrook Chocolatier in Ponte Vedra Beach. You are listening to Helmets and Heels on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Injecting Duval with your daily dose of insightful sports talk.
It's called radio.
1010XL, Jacksonville Sports Radio.
In the game of vehicle performance and reliability, Atlantic Infinity is always the top pick. This is Hayes Carlion. Did you know that every certified pre-owned Infinity is inspected, factory-backed, with a limited warranty, and gets the same championship-level service as a brand-new Infinity? Every mile will feel like first class. Check out their full certified inventory now at AtlanticInfinity.com or visit Atlantic Infinity off Atlantic near St. John's Bluff.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. From GFL, Green for Life.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On February 12, 1982, Wayne Gretzky scored his 153rd point of the season, breaking an NHL record.
Get a healthy start in 2026. The Florida Department of Health in Duval County is here to help you get healthy and stay healthy all year long. Our dedicated team is committed to providing high-quality care and trusted public health services for our community. Our mission is simple: to protect, promote, and improve the health of you and your family. Learn more about our programs and services by visiting duval.floridahealth.gov.
Rick Ballou for Coy Dental. That's right, Carlson Dental is now Coy Dental. Dr. Lee has been practicing there for 9 years, has purchased the company. The Coy Dental team still has the same great dentists and staff. And remember, if you get nervous visiting a dentist, don't. There's never a problem at Coy Dental. With light sedation for cleaning, then deep sedation for all your restorative needs. Coy Dental, located in Bartram Park.
And that concludes the Joe C. Jack of All Trades show. Tune in next week where I'll be installing my own French drain.
Joe, wake up, man.
Hey, John, I must have dozed off.
We finished those projects you started.
Whoa, my seamless gutters are actually seamless.
And they're connected into underground PVC drain lines.
And my sprinklers. Wow, look at that coverage.
Next time, just call me first, Joe.
I will, but I ain't singing that song.
Clearwater irrigation
and drainage too.
Are you ready to reclaim your backyard? Serving Northeast Florida since 1977, Surfside Pools is the trusted name for expert pool design. Family owned and operated, they offer pool service, equipment repairs, commercial maintenance, remodels, and new pool construction. Let Surfside Pools transform your backyard into the oasis that you crave. Are you ready to float happy? Visit surfsidepools.net or call 246-2666. Surfside Pools and Spas, where luxury meets leisure.
License number CPC 044080.
Now here is my love. Newsflash, gang. Valentine's Day is coming, so guys, you gotta get with the program. And let's think outside the candy box. It's the Big Orange Chorus. They're back. You know the deal. The guys come out, they serenade your girl. 2 songs, a rose, a large Hershey's kiss, a greeting card, a photo with the group. All you got to do is call 355-SING or go to bigorangechorus.com. That's bigorangechorus.com. Virtual Valentine's also available, but order today at bigorangechorus.com.
Roses are red, Florida gets hotter, and your AC is about to ruin the mood. If your system barely survived last summer, now's the time to replace it before the real heat comes back swinging. Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning makes it easy. No surprises, no runaround. And with our Sweetheart AC deals, get $750 off a new AC system when you install by March 15th. Fall in love with an AC that keeps it cool without the stress and call now for a free estimate. 904-862-6769, duckduckrooter.com.
1010XL, presented by Farrah and Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farrah doesn't flinch.
Taylor Dahl, Tom McManus, RJ Saunders back at 1010XL headquarters. I'm Lauren Brooks. We are live here at Peterbrook Chocolates here in Pana Vedra Beach. And certainly if you are still looking for a Valentine's Day gift for your loved one, and it doesn't have to be a significant other, it can be a friend, it can be a coworker, it can be your boss, it can be a family member. Stop on by here at Peterbrook Chocolates here.
Well, the boss, I don't know. That's a little kissing off. Let's hold off on the boss stuff. He's got an assistant to go get him something.
Just saying, some people, are looking for promotions, so you might want to get your boss a little something. But yeah, if your boss is married, maybe not. Then don't do that. Yeah. Right. All right, keep the Jaguars conversation going. I was thinking of that movie, Love Actually. When it comes to the free agent or needs, when it comes to free agency or the draft, the Jaguars can certainly acquire players through that or trades as well. But we've talked about the defensive tackle, the interior. We've talked about a little bit of backup tight end. Certainly, I say backup, like you said, second tight end. That could certainly be a need, not a priority necessarily. We talked a little bit about the offensive line. I don't think that the Jaguars necessarily need a wide receiver at this point in time.
No.
They'll have, obviously, guys come in,
draft,
and train. But, I would expect that maybe to be through the draft. But, the two key free agents that could potentially leave, Travis Etienne, the running back, and Devin Lloyd, the linebacker, maybe they feel they have those guys already on the roster and they'll just add some depth there, or do they think they need to upgrade the running back position? It's going to be hard to upgrade Devin Lloyd, but upgrade that inside linebacker
I
position.
don't think they feel like they could upgrade or want to upgrade the running back room. I think if they, in the perfect world, they'd keep Etienne Jr. and then have the two young guys. You may draft somebody that you just like. He's on your board.
Yeah.
He falls into the right spot. You're like, oh, man, we got it. This kid is too good to pass up at this spot in the draft, that type of thing. But no, I don't think they're looking to upgrade with a free agent pickup. Offensive line we spoke about, maybe, but not free. The free agent market for O-line is only okay. Lindenbaum, the center, McGovern, the center. There's a couple guards, but it's not like the kid from Wallace from Green Bay, the left tackle. But here's the thing: like he's going to command $20 million. Oh
yeah.
And I even saw in one, I forget what publication, and he's rated like the 30th tackle. And they gave me like $20 million, 30th tackle. No, thank you. I'll go with what I have there. As wide receiver, no, I don't think they do anything there. I do think tight end, depending on the price. I don't think they'll go, like Goddard, big time. But a Cade Otton type that can help, with the tight end room. And I do think they like Quentin Morris. So I don't think that. As far as Lloyd is concerned, you're not upgrading him. I don't think. Not in free agency. Maybe a Quay Walker, but that to me, like, why would you get rid of Devin and then go pay Quay? Because it's going to be close in money. I don't know if it's going to be exact, but it's going to be close. And he is a little bit better in coverage. Quay Walker is, so they say. So, do you do something there? I hope he stays. I think he can be really utilized in more ways than they've even shown. I want him after the quarterback even more. He's great against the run. He's gotten better in coverage. I wouldn't let him go, but it all depends on that price tag, too. And look, let's be honest. Say, I don't know, Devin's at 25 a year and Quay Walker's at 20. I'll probably save the $5 million and bring in Quay if it's that kind of a gap. You know what I mean? Or maybe it's a little bit deeper. I don't know. But somewhere in that, there's got to be a point where you say, okay, he's too much. This guy we can win with. And here's the thing: as an organization, you got to figure out he may not be the best of the best of the best, but we can win with him. Like he can play the position. He may not be your 5 interceptions, return 1 for a touchdown, 99 yards, but he's going to be consistent every down. He's going to be available every down. He's going to be, healthy throughout the season. He's good in coverage. You don't have to worry about him if you leave him in.
So could that be Ventrell Miller?
I don't know. I really liked Vent, and I do like him still. but nothing happens without reason. And I know they had the or in the
preseason
but Devin was always the starter. There was never ever you never saw where you thought with the first team like, oh, where's Devin? He was always out there with Foye Lewickin. So I think they like Ventrell, but would they replace Lloyd with Ventrell?
Well, and the question is, you're trying to upgrade, so can you upgrade at that position? And it sounds to me like what you're saying really is your upgrade is keeping Devin Lloyd.
Yes,
and hoping he plays even better.
I would keep Devin over anything else for that position,
right?
In my opinion.
And I think more people, Taylor, would say you can upgrade the running back position, whether that's handing the reins to Tootin and LaQuint Allen, and then supplementing that position group. But you can potentially upgrade that way easier than you can upgrade that inside linebacker play because of what we saw Devin Lloyd do.
Yeah, and I think that is one of the conversations that you have is you're looking at all these teams in recent years and the way they've been able to fill that running back spot pretty easily. But linebacker, you don't have that conversation as often where you have a guy like Devin Lloyd. And I know that a lot of people I've talked to are like, okay, but he did it 1 year. Do you trust that to be him to replicate what he did this last year? And that'll be part of the evaluation of what the Jaguars are looking at.
Right.
Like what can we do with him? Because yes, he did that this year. And we saw some of the improvements starting even in the bad defensive things of Devin Lloyd being able to make plays. The biggest conversation was, can he drop back in coverage and do some of those things? Because the year before it was not very good. He improved on those things. All of the things that you asked him to kind of check those boxes off, Devin Lloyd was able to do this year. So does this team think that this is the start of Devin Lloyd, or do they think that was the ceiling of Devin Lloyd, and is that worth it?
Right.
That's where that conversation. Ryan Nielsen and Mike Caldwell.
Yes.
Because of those defenses and the just confusion that was.
But here's a thought. So Ventrell Miller, what about this? Okay, so let's say we let Devin walk. Ventrell comes in because he can cover, he can play the run, and that allows us to go get, a Boye Mafe from Seattle, or a pass rusher that's going to fill that void that Devin could possibly bring to the table. Right. Different positions, but helping your defense out. Yeah. I could see that. Yes. I wouldn't want them to go, but I could see them going like, okay, from a healthy organization standpoint, let's not overpay him. We love him. We wish him well. Go get all the money you can. Maybe you come back sometime. We don't know. We're going to go with Ventrell, but that frees up us to go get somebody that's really going to impact that defensive line. That I could see as a good plan.
Yeah, and I'm sure those are the conversations, obviously, that have been going on since the Jaguars lost to the Bills, right?
Yeah.
Like, if you had another really good pass rusher, do you win that football game? And that's a question that, like I said, they have to discuss. All right, more to do on the other side. I want to talk a little NASCAR.
All right.
Not that we're experts, and we'll actually show you that we're not experts. On the other side, you're listening to Helmets and Heels live here at Peterbrook Chocolatier in Ponte Vedra Beach. Just keep it right here, 1010X on 92.5 FM.
Where electrifying moments come to life.
Inside of a minute to play.
And legendary performances live.
The monumental milestone in a legendary career.
1010XL. The power of Jacksonville Sports Radio.
San Jose Collision in Mandarin is proud to be an I-CAR Gold Class collision repair facility. That means they meet the industry's highest training standards. Experience the difference at San Jose Collision in Mandarin.
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
Free oil change alert. Mike Dempsey here for Duval Ford Mobile Service. They're treating 8 listeners February 25th at the 1010 Studios during Jaguars Today. For your chance to win a free oil change, text OIL to 641-1010.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
The flagship station of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
It's a blizzard of big wins at Best Bet Jacksonville. The Best Bet Blizzard on the Beach Poker Series is heating up February 5th to the 16th with 10 tournament events, Best Bet live stream feature and final tables, and $600,000 in guarantees. It's cold outside, but the tables are hot inside Best Bet, with satellites taking place daily into the $1,700 Mystery Bounty main event. Learn more at bestbetjacks.com. That's bestbetjacks.com.
Here's hoping for a Raise the Roof football season. And here's knowing Next Gen Roofing is up for any job. Game day or storm season, you need a team you can trust. And you know what? You don't need a glitzy roofing company. No shortcuts, no gimmicks, no nonsense. Solid roofs at competitive prices and a commitment to the First Coast community. Right now, save up to $300 on your next roof replacement. When you need a roof, you need Next Gen Roofing. Team with you, it's a win every time.
Finding the perfect romantic gift she'll treasure forever? It's easier than you think at Beard's Diamonds this Valentine's Day. We've curated a stunning selection of timeless, affordable jewelry she'll absolutely love. Dazzling rings, sparkling earrings, elegant pendants and bracelets, set with brilliant diamonds or colorful gemstones. Classic gold that never goes out of style. And you can't beat the wow factor of top brand designer jewelry. At Beard's, we've got it all under one roof. And right now, we're cranking up the romance with an unbeatable limited time offer. Save up to 40% on all diamond stud earrings, pendants, and tennis bracelets. Imagine her face lighting up when she opens that signature Beards box on February 14th. Pure magic that lasts a lifetime. Guys, cards, flowers, and candy are sweet, but nothing says I love you forever like a sparkling gift she'll wear and cherish every single day. And that gift is on major sale right now. Plus, Beards is your local Jacksonville jeweler, family owned and community strong for over 45 years. Right here in the St. John's Town Center. Not some Wall Street chain. We're your neighbors, and we're here for you. Hurry in today. Don't wait. Beards Diamonds, St. John's Town Center.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey ham, melted cheddar and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Golf for a great cause. It's the UNF4 Scholarship Golf Classic, Friday, March 27th at Queens Harbor. Support the Swoop Impact Fund with a sponsorship or foursome. Contact jc.wegner@unf.edu.
I'm Max Fink with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update brought to you by Awaken 180. This week's PGA Tour event is the Pebble Beach Pro-Am, a fan-favorite event at one of the most infamous courses in all of golf. A loaded field of Rory McIlroy and Scotty Scheffler and other top golfers are competing. The Orlando Magic fell to the Milwaukee Bucks last night, 116 to 108. It's 66 degrees at 3 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
We are live here at Peterborough Chocolates here in Ponte Vedra Beach, and certainly shout out to everyone who has stopped in, bought some chocolate-covered popcorn, and whatever else you want for your loved one who loves chocolate as much as we do. Yes. All right, we're going to play.
And shout out to, I just wanted to say this real quick. Of course. Mr. Sacerdoti, he was one of my teachers at Mandarin, was who brought me this nice bear. So thank you, Mr. Sass. That was fantastic.
So sweet.
So
and go
proud.
Mustangs.
He's a proud teacher.
Yes.
It's very cool.
That was what class?
That's what I think I had him.
Sorry, Taylor.
I'm glad I wasn't asked. You know the answer. I'm like, I don't know.
I think I had him for multiple class, because sometimes it'll be like history and like psychology and stuff like that. So it was like multiple. But I honestly was trying to remember. I was like, it's been a long time now.
I can
But I
understand
do
that.
remember him. And as soon as he walked in, I was like, I recognized, but I don't know why. And then I got a text on the text line brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. So thank you, Mr. Sass.
Yeah,
I love that.
That was very nice.
I ended up having one of the teachers my mom had in high school. I had him in high school.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
That is.
Yeah, I'm going to refrain from talking about my teacher relationships on the radio. We'll let that
we'll skip that for now.
No, forever. Forever. That's in the vault. You're not getting that
Valentine's Day is Saturday. So come by Peterbrook Chocolatier in Ponte Vedra. Okay, we're going to play a fun little game, you two, because the Daytona 500 is on Sunday.
All right.
You are going to tell me after I give you two different names.
No.
I'm going to give you two different, sort of. I'm going to give you two different names, and you're going to tell me if this person is a country singer or a NASCAR driver.
Oh, gosh.
NASCAR driver or country singer.
Okay.
All right. The first two names, Jacob Tolliver, Justin Haley. Jacob Tolliver, Justin Haley. Who's the driver? Who's the country singer? And
Haley's the singer, and the other guy's the driver.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's what I was going to say.
That guy,
Haley,
who's the first guy?
Tolliver.
Yeah, that
Jacob
sounds like.
Tolliver.
I think I've heard of him as a driver. Maybe.
So he's a country singer. And Justin Haley is the driver.
You got to eat chocolate every time you're wrong.
That's right. Oh, darn. All right, the next one is going to be Cole Goodwin, Ryan Priest. Cole Goodwin, Ryan Priest, who is the NASCAR driver, who is the country singer.
A good game for me.
By the way, these are up-and-coming country singers.
Okay.
Obviously, I didn't pick Garth Brooks and Chris Stapleton.
Yeah.
And I also didn't pick guys who you would know,
Right.
like a Kyle Busch, obviously,
Sure,
like
right,
NASCAR.
right.
Yeah, I only know like
Or
three
Bubba
NASCAR
Wallace.
drivers.
You would know more. I actually had to go kind of far down.
So
you would know more than
Priest
you think.
is the driver.
Do you want to go with her first
Who
answer?
Godwin? You said.
Yeah, Cole Goodwin and Ryan Priest.
Yeah, Cole for the singer.
All right, that one you guys got
All
right.
right, way to go.
Ryan Priest is a driver. Cole Goodwin is a country
Yeah,
singer.
Cole. That seems like a name for country singers.
All right, next up, Tyler Reddick, Chandler Dozier, who is a country singer, who is a NASCAR driver. Tyler Reddick, Chandler Dozier.
Okay.
I'm gonna say Chandler's the driver.
Yeah. Hold on. Chandler
Dozier.
Chandler Dozier.
Okay.
Consensus driver, country singer.
Oh.
Tyler Reddick is the driver.
So close. This 50-50 stuff. You know what I mean? It's
Only
so
only a few more. All right, we've got Trace Nixon and Cody Ware. Which one is a country singer? Which one is a NASCAR
I'm gonna go.
driver?
Trace is the country singer. That sounds like.
I was going to say
country.
Cody was the country singer.
All right, Tom will say Trace. Taylor will say Cody. Tom is correct.
got
It is Trace. And I feel like that one was a little easier in the sense of Trace Atkins,
yeah.
Tracy
that's
Lawrence,
what
that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But
Cody Ware sounds like a country
he
guy
does.
to me.
They all sound
They're
like
like-
the same,
Yeah.
which is interchangeable,
point.
which is exactly the point. All right, two more.
I feel
just
like
two
Donna
more.
Murphy would be very mad at me right now.
I don't know if she's heard of these drivers, but
loves
maybe
the NASCAR drivers.
she does. None of these, like I said, are like the ones that you would necessarily know. All right, Zane Smith, Trey Calloway. Zane Smith, Trey Calloway.
Okay, Callaway, I feel like is the driver.
Yeah, same.
All right, Calloway is the country singer.
Oh my gosh.
Zane Smith is the driver. You have one more. Let's see how you do.
Come on, finish strong.
Here we go. Josh Berry and Garrett Bradford. Josh Berry and Garrett Bradford. Who's the country singer and wants to be famous in Nashville? Who wants to be first on the tracks in Daytona?
Barry or Bradford?
That's right, Barry or Bradford.
Bradford is the country singer.
Yeah, I'm going to go that too.
Ding, ding, ding.
All right.
You finished strong. I'm so proud of you both.
Beautiful.
And since I mentioned Kyle Busch, as I don't know if y'all were paying attention, but he won the pole last night. So
Okay.
his first
Nice.
time ever getting to start in that position.
Yep.
He is 0 for 20 at Daytona.
Mm.
However, he has led 342 laps over his career in the Daytona 500, the
Wow.
most laps led by a driver who has never won.
Wow.
So if you're looking for a reason to pay attention to the Daytona 500 on
Hard
Sunday,
rock
yes, absolutely. I'm not saying he's going to win. Like I said, he's
Yeah, I
0
like
for
that.
20,
Yeah,
but
but
Kyle
wow.
Busch is
Yeah.
certainly a guy that that is at least in really good position because
Yeah.
he's in the pole position.
Yeah, so cool. You know, I met Buddha was it
Bud-
Bubba Baker. Bubba Baker, the old time racer. He was
Okay.
on Sterling Martin.
Okay.
Remember those guys?
Yeah.
They were like old time. And Kudas, remember I told you New Smyrna Beach Bar used to bounce at? Well, they would come in there and have beers and whatnot and hit on the waitresses and stuff like that. It was fun to watch. I mean, they go crazy for race car drivers in at least in New Smyrna Beach. they do.
Daytona as well, I'm
Yeah.
sure.
I'll tell you what, man.
Ormond.
I think, you know, for those of us, I've been to the 125s.
Okay.
I'm not a big fan of sitting there and listening and the smell of the gas and all that stuff. That was it for me. I could see myself in an RV in the middle partying and throwing
Sure,
down,
absolutely.
you know, doing backflips off the thing and whatever, and shotgunning beers and watching the race go around. I could totally see that. But people that don't watch it, I don't think, and even people that do and that are really into it, I don't think we really understand how hard it is to drive those cars. The heat alone, how hot it is in those suits, and you're all cramped, and the tank thing is right. Like, I'd be freaking out. I'd be like claustrophobic in there. Like, get me out of here. I don't like being in here. It's freaking me out. But it's amazing. And I like, going fast. I do.
Right.
I enjoy speeding in, context. And controlled speeding.
Not like Georgia Bulldogs.
It's like controlled chaos out on the football field. The same kind of thing, but controlled. But to me, it's like those guys are tremendous. Call them athletes, I guess you would. You kind of have to.
Yeah.
But the endurance, the strength, just the mental fortitude, just that alone. Those races are so long, so hard. I mean, you can crash at any moment. You're going 200 miles an hour, 180, whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's insane.
It's
what
wild.
lap,
I love it.
What lap would they be on by the time you finish one? Because I think they'd be like 70 by the time I get around the track.
It is. I know people debate about certain athletes in different sports as far as like some people would say golfers are not nearly as good of athletes, and caddies are the ones actually taking their bag and all that kind of stuff. But I agree with you. Race car drivers, I do think they're athletes based off of.
How do you define an athlete? That's what really it comes down to.
Would a race car driver beat someone like sprinting? Not necessarily.
Right.
But
would a sprinter beat a race car driver? No.
Right. Yeah. No. Exactly. Especially not if they're in their car. But no. I think the amount of like quick twitch stuff that you have to have as a driver, like not necessarily,
and the mental side of it.
Oh yeah,
that's huge, and it's huge in every sport. But that one, I mean, just everything mentally that you have to,
the strategy,
just be prepared for it.
Sure, and the different teams and their strategies and things like that. Like it, I've never been a huge race car fan by any means. My dad wasn't into it, and pretty much whatever my dad was into, I was into. But when you physically go to a race, you cannot comprehend just how fast they're going until they go around that track.
Again, it depends how you define what an athlete is. Is every athlete athletic?
Right.
In their own right, they must be. They have to be. But it's a different kind of athletic. Like, to me, an athletic person is someone in space that moves fluid, quickly, changes direction, like Beasley. Beasley's like a phenomenal athletic type person. He's still at his age, can bounce around and jump and do all these things. He's just a very athletic person, and he was a great athlete.
Sure.
Right? But there's different forms of athletes. So drivers, like you said, the mental, the strength.
Yeah.
Your hands got to go numb. Like, your arms got to go so tired. I mean, all that.
And you've got the Hans device. Your point about the claustrophobia.
Training, everything that
like,
goes
I'm
into
not
that.
someone who has good hand-eye coordination,
but
I could swim, right? So, like you said, it's all defined on what you
I think golfers are athletes because you have to time up your hands with your hips. And to me, that's part of an athletic thing.
Yeah, and I'm not saying they're not golfers. I just know some people would say.
I've never heard the caddies are athletes. That's a new one for me. I'm sure they're athletic.
But if John Daly,
a lot of them were at some point playing golf too. A lot of the caddies.
for sure. But like John Daly does not look like a prototypical athlete, yet he can play golf.
Well,
so that's where that
people say, like a Tom Brady, they're like he wasn't super athletic, and then you have guys where you're like, Jalen Hurts is a very athletic quarterback, but is he as good as Tom Brady was? There's different levels to what you think is athletic and what an athlete is. I think that's the difference.
Well, look, throwing a football, not everyone knows can even throw a football.
Sure.
There are people out there right now, you toss football to, they'd be like, I don't know what to do with this thing. I've never thrown a ball before in my life.
Or they wouldn't catch it.
Or they wouldn't catch it, right?
Yeah, for sure. All right, that was a fun game. Thanks for playing along. We'll get it back to the NFL on the other side. Keep it right here. Helmets and Heels, 1010X on 92.5 FM.
And now for something completely different.
1010XL can now be heard on your radio.
Now you can listen
from sunup to sundown.
You can play it all day long.
New and improved.
This radio station will remain on the air.
1010XL.
I invite you now to listen.
After an accident, the last thing you should worry about is how you are going to afford a lawyer. I'm Chris Campione, and at Campione Law, there are no upfront fees because we don't get paid unless you do. You heard that right. We don't get paid unless you do. Our team fights insurance companies every day to pursue the compensation our clients deserve. It's that simple. Get started at CampioneLaw.com. Offices, Jacksonville and St. Augustine.
Campione Law.
Welcome to Key Buick GMC, proudly family-owned and operated since 1943. Come see why they're North Florida's new and pre-owned truck center, conveniently located on Southside and JTB, just minutes from the St. John's Town Center. At Key Buick GMC, every new vehicle comes with our lifetime powertrain warranty. Key Buick GMC, we are professional grade. Online at KeyBuickGMC.com. Lifetime powertrain warranty covers engine, transmission, drivetrain only. Exclusions apply. See dealer for details.
Patrick Young here, a.k.a. the Big PY, and you know I love my Florida Gators. Now you can hear my Gator basketball instant reaction following each Gator Hoops game. Look for my takes on the social channels of 1010XL. Brought to you by VanguardSportsLeagues.com.
Attention skilled electricians. Are you undervalued at your current company? Time to step up to the bigger projects and better opportunities. Join the team at Miller Electric Company, a trusted name in the industry for over 96 years. At Miller, we tackle the biggest projects in the city, offering not just a job, but an experience, top-notch pay, unbeatable benefits, and the best working environments in the business. Please join the team that values your skills and rewards your hard work. Elevate your career to new heights. Apply today at millercareers.com, an equal opportunity employer.
Mark Watson with Hardball Creative. If you have a school, team, or group that would benefit from a team store, you're in luck because we now offer team stores. Check us out at hardballcreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
New and pre-owned firearms are in stock at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach. Want a new sidearm or rifle? Brands like Kimber, Smith & Wesson, 6 Hour, Beretta. No lines, no hassle. Only at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach.
Listen up, Googans. Hicken here, still talking skin. This time I want to give you some great advice for Valentine's Day. Look, don't buy anything that either dies or adds pounds. Go see the girls at Beach's Dermatology and get a gift card or even a specific skin treatment, one that will enhance her beauty, maybe even help her look like she did when y'all first met. It's possible. Skin treatment is very important, and a gift from Beach's Dermatology makes a perfect gift this Valentine's Day. For locations, go to beachesdermatology.com. Hey folks, Rick Ballou here from the Blue Crab Crab House. February means the Mardi Gras menu returns to the Blue Crab Crab House. Gumbo, shrimp Orleans, blackened redfish, appetizers, dessert, and more. This includes, of course, their regular menu where you get crabs from the Alaskan waters, the Canadian waters, the Southern Georgia waters. It's only at the Blue Crab Crab House. Doors open at 4:30, San Jose, and of course, Julington Creek Road.
Low mortgage rates are back. Listen, Loan Pronto has fixed rate mortgages with APRs as low as 4.89%. It's the lowest in years. Hey, gang, Prosser here. Smart homeowners are taking advantage of this while they can. If you got stuck in a 6% loan, you can lower your payment big time, or you can keep your primary mortgage intact, get cash out. Equity with Loan Pronto's rapid equity loans. One homeowner just got $250,000 out of their home. They paid off all their credit cards, some car loans, and cut their monthly expense by $2,000. Call now. See what option works best for you, but don't miss this big rate drop of 2026. Ask about new home loans, VA loans, full cash out refis, or their famous rapid equity loan. You can close in less than 2 weeks. You may be able to skip your next 2 house payments altogether. Call 904-999-1508 or visit loanpronto.com. No hard credit pull. 904-999-1508. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781. APR for well-qualified buyers.
Visit NMLSConsumerAccess.org.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
Welcome back to Helmets and Heels live here at Peterbrook Chocolatier in Ponte Vedra Beach. I have seen so many people picking up some of that chocolate-covered popcorn, and I understand why, but of course they have so many different things here that you can get for your loved one that loves chocolate. By the way, since 1983, Peterbrook
really
has been in business. Yes.
Wow.
Indeed, and 14 or 15 locations here in North Florida, which is, so that means there's always one
close
nearby
to
you. Exactly
Get your
right.
chocolate on.
That's right. What a gorgeous day to be here, too.
No doubt. When was they? You ever see that movie Chocolat where they discovered chocolate? Can you imagine, like, the first time? Like, again, as a kid, you're probably like, first time you had sugar. You know,
You're like, yes.
They're like 1-year-old. Like, you feed your 1-year-old that cake. They go cuckoo for a while, and then they crash for a while. You know
That
what I
one, like, the chocolate seems nice, like the discovery of chocolate. There's other foods where I'm like, can you imagine being the first person to, like, eat an oyster, like open that up and want to eat that, you know, those ones are weird. Chocolate, I feel like you'd be like, this smells great, like everything.
I'd be down to eat the oyster.
I mean, I love oysters, but
Well,
if you opened the sea, you went to the bottom of the sea, you were like, just brought it back, and you're the first person to ever eat this slimy thing in a shell.
Right. Maybe they drink the water first, though. They open up a
briny
what's that?
deliciousness. Absolutely.
Yeah, totally.
All right, we'll do some more info in a second, but time now for Lauren's Lane.
Now, Lauren's Lane. Opened up by Closets by Design. Imagine your home totally organized.
I got to brag on my Gator boys here just a little bit.
Yeah.
So if defense wins championships, the last 4 games, Florida's defense held South Carolina to 48 points, Alabama to 15 points below its average, A&M to 67 points on 30.6% shooting, and last night held Georgia to 66 points on 34.7% shooting. The Gators have won the last 5 consecutive road games by an average of 21.4 points. Granted, Georgia's best scorer was not there last night, so that's understandable. But Florida got off to a 10-0 start and certainly, I would say, never looked back. There were a few different times that Georgia would make it close, and then Florida would hit a 3, basically, and kept them at arm's length.
Great time to hit your stride, man.
Yeah. Did that happen last time you played Georgia? They were missing... I feel like they were missing one of their best players.
Oh, no, last time, I know what you're thinking of. Their center got thrown out of the game for basically like punching Ruben Chinyelu. So, that guy, he is very physical, and I can understand, when you play in the paint that much, like you do have to use your physicality, but you don't do things that are going to get you ejected, especially when your team is on the smaller side in that regard, and you're playing a team that has as many good bigs as Florida. But Todd Golden's team, to your point, Tom, is certainly hitting its stride as far as everybody knows their role and what they're best at. And now Isaiah Brown coming off the bench is great. And Micah Hanlogton has always been great coming off the bench. And so they all understand what they have to do in order for Florida to beat teams. But look, Georgia, like Hayes said yesterday in the crosstalk, Georgia's desperate in order to make the tournament. And you thought they'd have some momentum because they're at home in Athens. And that crowd was if not sold out, it looked close to sold out. But Florida's just too good.
What's awesome about college hoops and the NBA is you don't have to panic early. Like I remember talking about, you'd bring it up, you'd talk about it. You'd be like, "Oh, the guards are missing, they're missing their shots," and Golden was even, we're figuring it out, you know. But that's what's nice. And then after the new year, then now you really got to be concerned. Like if you're Georgia, you're concerned. If you're Florida, you're like, man, I'm feeling pretty darn good about the way we're going. It's all coming together. Still got to work at some things, but at the end of the day, we're playing some pretty darn good basketball.
Condon had a few turnovers yesterday.
Too many, I read.
Yeah.
Is that true?
And careless with the basketball at times, and
then still win by 20.
Yeah,
yeah, right.
And that as a coach, though, that's like the most perfect thing is like when the Jags would win by double digits, but Liam could point to different things that they didn't do well. Like you want to have that comfortable win as far as for your own stress level, but you also want to be able to go into the locker room, or in this case, you want to go back to the O'Connell Center and say, let's figure out why you're turning the ball over at this clip, right? Let's figure out where you should, pick and choose your shots at certain times. And so, but shooting the 3 is so much better.
Well, listen, when you're critiqued and you're winning, you handle it a lot better than when you're critiqued and losing. And part of it's probably the delivery's different. You know what I mean? Like, hey, God, and you're turning it over, win all this. But as opposed to if you're losing, you're like, listen, you son of a, you know what? Like, you better hold on to that ball, take care of the, different
like
guys.
for me in class, it was she's talkative. She's way too talkative, but she's getting A's. So my parents would be like, you've got to stop talking in class. The other kids need to study.
You still wouldn't let people cheat off you.
But if you were also failing, that conversation would have
I'd be like, hey, teacher, can I move from her? She's not helping me. I got to go to the other row.
She can't see her paper very well.
She's blocking it for some reason.
All right, enough of my childhood. Let's my schooling years. Let's get into some of your free agents, Tom. We probably won't get through your whole list, but we talked about different needs for the Jaguars, player personnel wise, and you've done a lot of homework as far as you think some key free agents that the Jaguars could add to this football team. I'm gonna guess your number one, because you've told us, is defensive tackle John Franklin Myers from the Broncos.
Yeah, he would probably be known. And by the way, this is initial. You know that there'll be other lists coming out. And look, we don't know what these teams are going to do with him. They made Broncos be like, you ain't get him. Like, kid me, the guy's unbelievable. We're crazy to let him go or hit the market. So that could be it. But he would be my number one. He's averaged 7 sacks like the past 2-3 years. He's always in the backfield. He's good against the run. He's stout. He's physical.
High energy.
I like him a lot. I tell you, I like the edge Boye Mafe a lot too. As a situational, don't need him every single down. down, but come off the bench. Now, he only had 2 sacks this past year, but years like the year before had 9. He's had in that range, so he could be a nice off the bench type guy.
For the Seahawks, who they got him.
For the Seahawks, they got a couple guys that they're going to have to figure out, and they may say, no, you're not getting him either. And they got all the space.
They have a lot of money.
I mean, they got all the money in the world. Adafe Awa, the edge out of the Chargers, depending on price. I would listen. I know I'm probably in the minority here, but I would try to figure out a way to grab Trey Hendrickson.
Okay.
He's around here, you know what I mean? It could be a great fit. It's just, I know he's expensive. I know we pay Josh Allen, but if you're going for the title, which we are, and we know how close we could possibly be and what we need, I would try to figure out to make that. That's a bold move to me.
Yeah,
you want to be bold again, you go get a guy like that. He changes your defense immediately, especially if Travis Hunter comes back healthy.
Right.
Are you kidding me, having that kind of presence and the corner coming back?
So do you slide Trayvon inside?
I would slide him in,
time?
absolutely.
So you've got Josh Hines Allen and Trey Hendrickson on the outside.
Like, think about that. And you still got Eric and you still got Devon, right? Or maybe you have to do some with Eric with that big contract that it would cost to get a Hendrickson or a Crosby in that regard.
But at this point in time, Hendrickson was only on a 1-year deal last year.
No, he's free agent. That's the difference.
That's what I mean.
That's the difference.
You don't have to make any big trade for that.
His
You will have to pay him.
Right, you have to pay him, but at his age, I don't know that he's
right.
going to command. I mean, he's one of the best pass rushers, so he's going to command a lot. But I don't think he's going to command if, like, for instance, when Myles Garrett was going to be on the market potentially.
Yeah.
So for that, Tommy, if you were getting Trey Hendrickson, would that mean you'd be okay with letting Lloyd go and go cheaper on linebacker if you got somebody like if you got Hendrickson?
If that's what I had to do, yes. Because I think, difference maker. Let's label it as such.
Right.
Who's a bigger difference maker? A guy like Devin Lloyd, who's very good, great year, can do it all, or a guy that consistently hits the quarterback play after play, play after play, but consistently get without help.
And to Taylor's point earlier, Devin Lloyd did this for 1 year. Yes, we can argue about the defensive coordinators previously here in Jacksonville weren't great, but Devin Lloyd, are you guaranteeing me he's going to get another 5 interceptions next year? Even with this scheme and everything, right? Like, I don't know that's for sure. Trey Hendrickson, year in and year out, is going to get you sacks.
Well, Devin's had 1.5 sacks. So they have. It's not like I had 25 pressures, but again,
pressure.
So what? I want the I want the sacks, So in that regard, I would want that kind of a difference maker. And then I could say that like we were talking about filling the void.
Yeah.
Ventrell could fill the void. He's a little bit more athletic as far as coverage. He plays the run fine. He needs a little bit of work on that. He sometimes goes a little rogue, I think, shoots gaps too much.
Yeah.
Thinking he sees something. He's got to be more controlled.
He also hasn't played a ton.
He
so
hasn't
that
played a ton for that.
And they have Jack Kaiser. They have Branson Combs, but I don't know that either.
Branson's probably more this, but fine, he's good special teamer.
Yeah.
Jack Kaiser, I think they're really high on him. I think they want to see him some more, but eventually he's going to take over the middle linebacker position. I don't think it's in 2026, but could you keep Devin? Do something with Foye. Jack Kaiser's cheaper. You take all that money. I mean, Foye's like a $20 million cap, somewhere in that range, 21 this year.
Yeah.
And I don't know what that means, dead cap and all that. I'm not a capologist, so excuse me if I'm sure, Dempsey's listening to the show. He's like, no, Tom, no, there's too much dead money. There's not enough savings. Okay, I get it. But in retrospect, if you could pull it off and it fits like that, I could see those types of moves happening. Again, I'd love Devin Lloyd to be back, but at the end of the day, this defense is got to get better up front.
Yep.
They just have to. And if Devin blitz more, which I think he can, or rush more, which I think he can, maybe you'd say, well, you don't need a Hendrickson because you're getting the production out of him. But you're getting production out of Devin in what? In stopping the run and pass coverage.
Yeah.
You're getting a little bit. The pressures again, you'd have to watch and see what that play ended up being before you get too excited about it. But he did. He was number 3 at his position in pressuring the quarterback. I think I've said it before. Use him more at that. Like he can get up in. He can literally stand in the A gap and get thin and turn and get long enough to make a play in that backfield. And he's done it before. I like to see him do it again.
So for Foye, almost $17 million is the cap hit. Dead cap is $14.26 million.
So what's interesting too is when we compared the Seattle defense to the Jags defense the other day. The one thing we said, the farthest thing they were apart on is that front. Obviously, the interior mainly, but just in general, that defensive line got way more sacks, way more
more
pressures,
everything.
did even a good run defense, even a better run defense they had throughout the season. And the linebackers were very comparable. So to me, I feel like if you're talking about a Trey Hendrickson, if you're talking about that, if you're saying you can have a good linebacking core, because I feel like you're comfortable in that. You had one this year that was pretty close to what Seattle had when we were talking about you and I both had different numbers, and it was pretty comparable, that linebacker room and production at least. And up front is the difference, and then look at the difference of those two defenses. So if you're telling me you can get a Trey Hendrickson or whatever you want to get in that true pass rusher, move Trayvon to the inside, whatever you want to do with that, that's a conversation for them to be had. Upgrade your safety room in some way. I think all of a sudden you're talking about a defense that can compete and can be compared to Seattle.
The only problem is we're comparing the Jags defense with Devin Lloyd to the Seahawks defense with their linebackers.
Yeah, but without a Jordan Lewis and a Travis Hunter, and without a healthy Trayvon and without a healthy Eric. So that's another thing, is you're getting those 4 guys back. You're losing Devin maybe, but you're getting 4 players back that are very impactful on your defense, and you're adding one of the best pass rushers in the NFL.
Right. I like, if you look at it name to name, like, we don't have a Byron Murphy the second on our D-line. He's good against the run. He's good against the pass. Leonard Williams, you could make a case for, but I would probably take Leonard out of the interior guys anyway. You know what I mean? So maybe Eric and him are a wash. Maybe you give the nod to Leonard Williams. And then you go to the outside guys, so you could Josh and Dexter, maybe D-Law, maybe those are a wash. Their other side had more product. Now, Trayvon with the injury, fine, but right now you take, so my point, and then you go, Boye Mafe, you go Induso, or however you pronounce his name, who had 7 sacks himself, an outside backer. You had other backers at 3.5, 4, you know what I mean? So you add all that up, and you're talking about constant, consistent pressure.
Riley Mills,
on
all
the
those
QB.
guys.
Yeah. So, look, are they that far off? No, they're not that far off, but it's interesting how that puzzle can be put together, because you could do that with Trey. There's also the other, hey, let's keep Devin and go get a Boye Mafe, or maybe work somebody out, maybe get rid of Eric, do something with Eric, whatever. There's
but
ways
you do have
to
be,
figure
I
it
think,
out.
concerned. So if you put all your chips in with Trey Hendrickson and he gets hurt again, then you're right back to square one, because he has that history of injuries.
Yeah, well, he did last year. He had the hip, or it was actually a core injury. I thought it was the hip. It was a core injury. Supposedly, he's all healed up. Prior to that, he had 17.5 sacks back-to-back years.
Right.
So I don't know how many injuries
Well, I think
he
he
had.
missed another one before that.
He
It was
did.
I think it was like 17 injured, 17 injured. I want to say
I thought it was
it's
back-to-back. Check it out. I
it
could have
was.
swore it was back-to-back, but whatever. If I'm wrong.
I know he definitely missed a good portion of 2 seasons. So back-to-back 17.5. Before that, he had 8 sacks. He had missed a few games. So
he missed the season before the back-to-back.
Yeah,
right.
but not a ton. So he played 15 games, 14, 15, and then had 2 full. So he's had 2 full seasons his career.
Yeah.
Other than that, there's been some issues there.
Yeah. So that's the only, I guess, concern if you're paying top dollar for someone like him.
No, for sure. But then you could say, well, what if Eric gets hurt again?
Yeah.
Let's move on from him. What if Trayvon gets hurt again? Well, there goes his 5th year. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So
That's
if you're
always
going to
an
put
if.
your chips in, and that's what we're talking about, put your chips in to go get the what? The ring.
Right.
The ring.
Green Bay did it, and we're expecting to not have Micah Parsons for the rest of the season.
Although, here's a little sidebar, and I know this is a little bit more like just guessing here, but, if I'm Shad Khan, I don't care if we win the Super Bowl until what year?
2028.
Whatever year we're walking into
open.
the stadium, or the year before,
2028.
walking into that stadium, or that first year. That's when I want to win the Super Bowl.
If you're a competitive billionaire, I think you always want to win
Win
the
the
Super
Super
Bowl. All right, so the golden moment is next. It could be a chocolate moment. We shall see. You're listening to Helmets and Heels live from Peterbrook Chocolatier on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
It's the Super Bowl of stock car racing.
The most anticipated moment in racing.
The Daytona 500. NASCAR is revved up by the Plumbers and Pipe Fitters Local Union 234 on Jacksonville's NASCAR station, 1010XL.
Did you know there's local savings sitting in your mailbox right now? Money Pages is packed with real coupons from your favorite local businesses. Save money at restaurants like Al's Pizza, on pet care at Forever Vets, and on entertainment for the whole family at the Alhambra Theater. Plus, make sure to download the Money Pages app for savings on the go.
Pages in your mailbox right now.
Yo, it's your main man E.T. here for Blue Chew. And guess what? Blue Chew tablet isn't just a tablet. It's a cheat code. Blue Chews provide access to chewable tablets that help you feel and perform at your best. Stronger, longer. It's like someone gave you downstairs a pep talk and a gym membership. No awkward doctor visits and no uncomfortable waiting rooms. It's nothing worse when them nosy behind neighbors are looking at your packages and then asking you questions. Don't worry about it, sweetheart. I got this. Blue Chew is simple. It's discreet and delivered straight to your door. And let's be honest, this isn't just for you. Give her group chat something to talk about. Nothing makes you more of a legend than a little Blue Chew. And guess what? I got a special deal for our listeners. Get your first month of Blue Chew on me. That's right. Just use promo code 1010XL and you pay $5 shipping. That's it. Head over to BlueChew.com for details and safety info. Use the code 1010XL, then just chew it and do it.
To get this thing unwrapped here.
Praz, what in the world are you doing working on your Duval?
That's right, Dan. I really identify with Duval.
You live in St. John's County, knucklehead.
I mean the Duval sub, the Daily Stash Duval. Turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheeses. Lettuce, tomato, crispy and fresh, you know, like me. I'm sure there's a Daily Stash sub that sums you up.
The boss.
Because, of course.
Oven roasted beef, Munster cheese, roasted mushrooms, caramelized onions. It's the boss of all subs. Only available for me.
That's just not true.
What do you mean? I walked in the other day, screamed, "You know it!" and said, "A boss for a boss."
Well, no matter who you are, there is a Daily Stash sandwich or sub for you.
Go find yours. They may even make you a boss.
I'm sure they will, because it is Daily Stash.
Where more is better.
And you got that right.
Farah and Farah is thrilled to offer our annual Empowering Greatness Scholarship. 5 Florida high school seniors will receive 2 years' worth of tuition to a Florida college, university, or trade school. Apply now. Jacksonville.
At Hollis Pools, building a pool is personal. We sit down with you, listen to your vision, and bring your backyard dreams to life right here in Northeast Florida. Working with us doesn't feel like working with a contractor. It feels like working with family. Every Hollis Pools project supports Project Savior Outdoors, helping bring hope to our veterans. Visit HollisPools.com. Hollis Pools, your vision, your pool, your escape. License number CPC 1461233.
Have you got concrete or asphalt rubble piling up? Arcosa Crushed Concrete will pay you for it and recycle it. They're just minutes from Everbank Stadium on Talleyrand. Call Arcosa Crushed Concrete and get paid for what you don't need. ArcosaCrushedConcrete.com.
Let's talk about the sound no homeowner wants to hear. Drip, drip, drip. Still dripping. That's exactly why Duck Duck Rooter created the Love Your Pipes promotion. Plumbing problems don't scare us. Not with years of experience and honest upfront pricing on our side. Right now, you can get free plumbing assessment on all fixtures with any paid plumbing service. It's the smart move to fix the issue now before it becomes bigger. So when you're stuck, call the Duck, 904-862-6769, duckduckrooter.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Now, the Monahan's golden moment. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach, your local family jewelers.
So today we've been chatting quite a bit about the Jags' needs, where they stand right now pre-free agency, and obviously that shifts once you get those free agents in-house, what the draft looks like. But and I know we have the conversation a lot of the draft and what it looks like and the position depth in the draft for that. And I wonder how much they look at that. Like, okay, well, you know, this year, for example, when you look at Dan Brugler's most recent, in his top 100, the strength is wide receiver, edge, and cornerback are his two strongest positions. I mean, 3 strongest position groups. So do the Jags look at that when you're looking at certain position needs and you're like, hey, this year, center, running back, and tight end, it's not a good draft for those guys, so we need to make sure we address that in free agency. And those are some of the conversations we have on the show, and we will continue to have his full rankings of that. Wide receiver, edge, corner. He has defensive tackle, linebacker, offensive tackle, all right behind that, kind of clustered together. Offensive guard, safety, then tight end, QB, RB, and then center behind behind that. So how much are you evaluating some of those things, that position value in the top 100, that you can get an edge this year, it seems like, in that top 100 and have a really good player. Now, the draft is not a science, so we don't know what these guys are going to look like in the NFL, but it's just interesting to think about how much they look into that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, look, you can also say we've got Strigow, we got B.J. Green the second. Maybe we can get something out of Mason Smith. I mean, maybe we figure out how to best utilize him. Austin Johnson was a nice pickup for us. He can hold down the fort. We need to add to it, but maybe it's not with a big free agent. It's through the draft. The question is, at 56, can you still get one of those guys that is that impactful? And if not, with the 3 picks in the third round, or can you take a couple of those? Can you move up? Whatever you got to do to get that player or players that you're kind of needing for this team.
One of the downsides is usually, and 56 may be a little bit of a stretch when I talk about teams that need quarterbacks. You can expect quarterbacks to go. Again, when you're picking at 56, there's not going to be 32 quarterbacks that are selected. But when
especially this year,
correct. But because this year the quarterback part is light, that makes you a little more nervous that, players or positions like an edge are going, even though if it's deep, they're still going to go off the board a little higher than they would have.
Yeah, and you know how it goes in the draft. When one goes and the next team's like,
they start panicking a little bit.
Panic. Let's
run
off
there's a run
the
on them, for sure.
Unless you're Shador, and then you're just waiting.
So I guess, the bold move could be figuring out a way to move up. Maybe you don't get into the first round, but maybe you get at the top of the second round, and you can get a really impactful player. Look, the second round's full of really good football players. Even the third round. So, and then, down the road, it gets less and less. But those first 3 rounds, you should get some really good football players. You shouldn't miss, per se. You do. I know that happens. But with those rounds, especially the second round and maybe the early third, those should be all really good football players. The only reason they're not in the first round is their 40 was a half a second slow. Their arm was a quarter inch short, or they didn't jump high enough, or whatever the case may be. But you see them on the field, and they're like, that's a football player. They can make plays. They know how to play this game.
That's an athlete.
That's an athlete, damn it.
They could be a NASCAR driver. They could be a golfer.
But that's the thing. Can you get those kind of guys that are going to be impactful? Not projects. Not, hey, we got a few years to get them going. No, let's go get guys that right away can make a difference.
What do you think about them coming off of, and this is just a hypothetical question, but them coming off of the whole intangibly rich? I know they always want players that are quote unquote intangibly rich, but now that you've started to build this roster, the core of this roster for what you want, would you be willing, would they be willing to go a little bit outside of maybe a guy that got into trouble in college, or, that type of thing? Obviously they still love football, but they don't have necessarily the cleanest track record. I can't think of a single issue that any of the guys that the Jaguars drafted last year had off the field wise, right? We didn't talk about that whatsoever. Whereas in the past, and it's been a long time, but a D.D. Westbrook, for instance, had some issues in college off the field. And so I wonder if they, because they don't have that first round pick, if that's going to at least be, they're at least more open to it. And maybe this year's not the timing. Maybe it's farther down the road.
For me, loving football is number 1, and then the intangible is number 2.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So, listen, I'm a big fan of swagger, especially on defense. And if that means some of your guys are little roughnecks.
Sure.
I actually like roughnecks, to be honest with you. I like, because a lot of roughnecks are humble roughnecks. They're not boisterous. They're just, you just don't want to mess with them. They find trouble, or trouble finds them. They don't necessarily look for it. It just comes their way, and then they know how to deal with it. So I like that. And as far as you back it up, you can talk all you want in my defense, right? But that swag, that kind of and look, Brian Sexton said it best, and I forget how he said it, but he said, look, in order to play NFL football, just football in general, you got to have a little bit missing. Yeah, you got to have a little screw missing, right? Yeah. So you do need those kinds of guys. You just can't have the screw too far in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or too much missing, I guess I should say. You got to have at least somewhat. Yeah, can't be about hanging on the thread. But to me, look, if you got a guy that, whatever, and you got case by case, right?
Of course.
And because to your point, Tommy, with that, there's guys that we had been warned about and we've talked about in recent drafts. James Pierce was one of the guys, and now you're kind of looking at a situation right now. Not as Jalen Carter was somebody, and now we've seen him get ejected from games for spitting. There's certain guys guys where the warning label comes with
there,
it.
yeah.
I do think that Blackman, I think there's situations sometimes those guys that have the warning labels go to the right place and maybe things can get fixed a little bit. I know George Pickens was another one we talked about a ton. He hasn't done anything, like he has his moments. He screams at fans on the side and stuff. Sometimes he's a little wild, but can you reel that in as much as possible and get the good football out of that? And if you feel confident in your organization, I personally think that James Gladstone and company do feel like they have that foundation of a team where they can, maybe it's not going to be perfect. Those kind of fiery guys are going to have that energy all the time, but can you reel it in just enough to where it's not affecting you off the like what James Pierce is doing right now?
If your locker room's built for it, yes, because somebody will take him under the wing and be like, hey, man, we get it, whatever.
Right, but there are guys, too, in the sense
change
of
everybody.
No, but like in the sense of a LaQuint Allen. LaQuint Allen doesn't have off-the-field issues, but he's also a guy that is ready for a fight, right?
Yeah.
Like he's gonna get in the mix. He's a nasty blocker. Like
Yeah.
that's obviously the perfect blend or balance too. You've got a little swagger, like a Jarian Jones, and you're feisty, but you're also not. They don't have to worry and lose sleep at night. You're gonna miss different things.
Right, absolutely. For the record, Swagger's not a troublemaker. At all. That's not someone getting in trouble with the law or anywhere off the field. It's somebody that's just a tough individual hombre and is ready to go on and off the field if they need to be. That's all.
Absolutely. All right, the pest of the day on the other side. Keep it right here. You are listening to Helmets and Heels live from Peterbrook Chocolatier in Ponte Vedra Beach on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Fall in love with a new Chevy at Nimnick Chevrolet. Frank Frangie here. Right now, save up to 20% off a new Silverado or get financing rates as low as 1.9%. Unlike most dealerships, Nimnick Chevrolet has the largest inventory on the ground, ready for you to explore. And with their extensive selection, you're sure to find your perfect truck or SUV at Nimnick. Shop online 24/7 at nimnickchevy.com or visit the dealership at the corner of Park and Cassett. So who's got more new vehicles at the best prices? Nobody but Nimnick. Chevrolet, together let's drive.
Football's over, and it feels like a part of me died inside. This is Joe C. I know you know what that feels like, but have no fear. Revving your engines is here. The Daytona 500 is this Sunday. The fastest way to bet on the Great American Race is with the official sportsbook partner of the Daytona International Speedway, Hard Rock Bet. Don't miss out. Chase the checkered flag. Get to the winner's circle on Hard Rock Bet. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
I know how awful it is to get injured out there, especially if it's because of someone's negligence. Hey, Tom McManus here. If you get injured out there, there's only one number to call. It's Pound Law. That's all. Slip and fall, car wreck, wrongful death. It doesn't matter. Morgan & Morgan handles it all. The largest in the country, 100 offices, 1,000 attorneys with $30 billion recovered. That's the kind of team that I want representing me. If you get hurt out there from someone else's wrongdoing, check out Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
Frank Frangie here for Stanley Pools. If you're dreaming of putting in a pool this year, choosing the right company is the most important decision you'll make. I've trusted Stanley Pools to build my pool, renovate my pool, and maintain my pool. Stanley Pools has been the best in the business since 1988, and they're still family-owned. Call them today at 904-269-7277 or find them online at stanleypoolsfl.com. That's Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
Do you want to grow your career with a company that's committed to growing with you? Florida Home AC has aggressive plans to double their workforce, and they're looking for determined, resourceful people with initiative. Just log on to floridahomeac.com/careers to find out more.
When you drive past a Kuhn Flowers location, did you know their inside showroom is filled with gift items? Kuhn Flowers isn't just for sending flowers. Frank Frangie here, and when I need a unique gift, I head for Kuhn Flowers, Beach Boulevard, and in Ponte Vedra since 1947. Kuhn Flowers.
Coach Campo here, and I just want to tell you about the best pizza I've had right here in Duval, and that's Tony D's Pizza. Tony works hard to make every slice perfect. If you love pizza like I do, you need to go to Tony D's, Bay Meadows and 295.
I'm Carl. I'm 68 years old, and I lost 40 pounds thanks to Awaken 180 weight loss. In looking at pictures, I realized that my color wasn't good. I looked bloated, constantly tired, out of breath. It got to the point where I decided it was time to pick up the phone and call Awaken 180. The combination of the diet and the coaching really pushed me over the top. My self-confidence soared. I'm walking, I'm working out, Instead of 68, I feel like I'm 28. I just had my annual physical and my doctor looked at my blood pressure and he said, what did you do? What happened? And I explained that I'm on the Awaken 180 program. I've never felt so good in my life. And as somebody that sometimes likes to take the shortcut, I didn't have to do that with this program. Awaken 180 is my solution for weight loss.
Carl's solution for weight loss. My daughter Amber's solution for weight loss. Lowered blood pressure, increased confidence, feeling years younger. Not a temporary fix, a solution. Want the same results? Then choose Awaken 180 online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Joe C here. The XL Primetime crew will be live from Lifetime Enclosures this Thursday, noon to 2. It's their February open house all weekend, and we've got a pair of tickets to the Eric Church concert in April to give away. Thursday, noon to 2, or all weekend long at Lifetime Enclosures.
The Players' Championship returns to TPC Sawgrass March 10th through 15th. Experience golf's most iconic stage with enhanced food and beverage offerings, interactive fan attractions, and an atmosphere built for every type of fan. See the best players in the world, including world #1 Scotty Scheffler, 2025 champion Rory McIlroy, and fan favorite Brooks Koepka take on the legendary Stadium Course and the famous Island Green. Tickets available at theplayers.com. 1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
Welcome back to Helmets and Heels. One more segment to go here live from Peterbrook Chocolates here in Ponte Vedra Beach. And we just had a gentleman walk in and he said, by the way, any chance, do you have any golf-related chocolate? And she's like, of course, we have a whole golf section right here.
Nice.
So yeah, there's chocolate footballs back here.
There's chocolate footballs.
There's chocolate tennis rackets.
They have a whole chocolate golf bag in this case
cute.
over here, like a full golf bag, but then also golf balls. Yeah, all sorts
Just
of
take
stuff.
a chip off, have a piece of chocolate.
But
Walk by.
Oh,
Perfect.
goodness. All right, time now for today's Pest of the Day. It might be Tom Stealing. Brought to you by our friends at Terminix. You can find them online at Terminix.com. That's TERMINIX.com. They take care of all of the pest issues at our house, which means we don't have any. Same with Everbank Stadium, ViStar Ballpark, ViStar Veterans Memorial Arena, and all of your favorite event venues around town. The Pest of the Day today is going to be, and I can't pronounce the name, but the Ukrainian Olympian wanted to wear a helmet that honored his fellow countrymen that have died in the war.
Right.
And the IOC said no, and so he's not going to participate. Now, granted, you should still participate in the Olympics. You've worked your butt off, and you should probably just change helmets. But the IOC should have allowed him to participate with that helmet. Why do rules cause these weird dumb issues sometimes?
Well, I'm not the rule guy, obviously, but
that's an understatement.
If you allow it, then you set a precedent.
I get it, but look what that country's been through.
It could be. What if it's either side of the Gaza Strip? You know what I mean? Like, what if one you can't have it? You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. It's like I always felt like with the kneeling thing, right? And I wasn't against it.
Sure.
I always felt like if you allow that, then why? Maybe my play. I don't know. I have a gay sister, maybe, and I want to have a parade before the game inside the stadium, or maybe I'm pro, life, and I want to, hand out Pampers, before the game, and you can bring them in. You know what I'm saying? Like, you
You're
can't
say pamphlet.
You can't set a precedent and then think that those things aren't going to happen down the road.
I guess there should be like a special request form that an athlete can fill out, and then there's a committee, and then they decide.
I do also. It is. It's a lot of. There's gray area a lot, and I think a little bit of the difference is like when we're talking about the NFL, you're not representing your country really in that sense. Like your team, you're the Jacksonville Jaguars, and we do a lot for the veterans and the military in general, which we love that. But there, you are representing your country is what you are there for. So being able to represent what your country is going for, I think, is part of it.
For the record, it doesn't affect me one way or the other. I'm just saying what they're thinking. Like, if we allow this, and it may not happen this year, could happen the next time, and then who knows what's going on in the world?
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I mean, that's just a touchy slope to go down, I think.
Yeah, I can understand that, but
it's too bad.
I would like to have thought, like I said, that he would still participate. He's a skeleton athlete. I don't even know.
I didn't know what that meant. I thought it was a misspelling.
What is skeleton?
I don't know.
Is that when you're shooting and doing a cross country? I know they call that a
That's a good question. But the decision, by the way, also only came 45 minutes before the start of the competition. So that's the other thing that annoys me. All right, let's turn things over to the Frangie Show.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnicht. Nimnicht Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnicht Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
So the skeleton is similar to like the luge.
It's on this. It's on that sled thing, and your face first down.
You know what? You're going by people so fast.
I can't see the helmet.
Exactly. Thank you. Well said. All right, let's say hello to the Frangie Show now as Hayes joins us back at World Headquarters. Oh no, Hayes, you're on location at the Players Championship.
That's correct. We're at this gorgeous clubhouse and certainly having a wonderful time out here. Frank had a chance to participate and play in the course earlier today with some of the other media luminaries, so looking forward to hearing all about that. And we've got a fun Frangie show coming up. Lee Smith, the executive director of the Players Championship, will join us for a couple of segments because obviously we want to get into what's going on in the world of golf, but also we're a week removed from that fantastic Players Championship promo that debuted on the Golf Channel last week that with that suggestion March is going to be major, so we're certainly excited about that. And so yeah, that'll be a lot of fun. Talk a lot of golf, talk some Gator basketball, and we'll get into some football as well coming up on the Frangie Show.
All right, sounds good. Thanks so much, Hayes.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, live at the Players Championship. I almost forgot that. They're there today, and
I'm
certainly
not an luminary, I guess. Whatever that is.
A luminary, yeah.
Isn't that a light?
It can be a light, yes, for sure. A luminary normally, is a light, but he's obviously referring to media people that are just more lighter than you, more lights in the world. No, I'm just kidding.
There you go.
I don't think our show time-wise fit into it, and plus we were going to be here at Peterbrooke Chocolate's
I'm the worst golfer in the world, so it's better off that I'm not out there.
There you have it.
By the way, U.S. men's hockey is on right now too, which I'm very excited to go watch this. But 1-1 right now, but the Kachuk brothers got it started with a goal early. So,
okay. Yeah. Nice.
So we're tied up with,
however you say this name, Latvia?
Latvia, yeah.
Latvia, yeah.
All right, USA. All right, reminder to everybody, Valentine's Day is Saturday, so come on by Peterbrooke, one of the 14 or 15 locations here on the First Coast. Get your chocolate-covered popcorn or whatever it is that you want to give to the person in your life that loves chocolate, and you're going to walk out with your chocolate bear intact.
So cute.
Coco the bear. Absolutely adorable. All right, that'll do it for us today. For Tom McManus, for Taylor Dahl, for RJ Saunders, for Aaron Williams, our engineer, I'm Lauren Brooks. These heels are made for talking. We will talk to you tomorrow. But don't go anywhere. The Frangie Show is next.
You keep lying.